Everybody!
Yay!
Yay! Phoenix.
Hi, everybody. This is Phoenix Dawn Command here on the Saving Throw Show. I am your Marshal / Game Master, Sax Carr. Before we go any further, I have all kinds of announcements today, but let's actually meet the players, not the characters. We'll meet the characters when we talk about where the characters are. But first off, we are...
Hey, I am Mac Beauvais. I am an actor, a writer, a model. So far have not been convicted of any grave robbings. And I will be playing Varia, who is from the Bitter Phoenix School, and she is a giant werewolf with an affinity for weapon racks.
I'm Robert Chan, a writer and podcaster. I also recently stole a grave. It's right here. It's a 6-foot hole. You can see?
Yeah.
It took the entire hole.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah, but have you been convicted of it?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I mean, you will be
You can't
now.
catch me. You can't.
Now there's evidence.
No, I'm on the lam. That's it. We're just talking about ourselves,
Yeah,
right?
just yourselves,
I'm
fine.
done.
I'm Josh, a architect and aspiring writer, and lover of games. I know you
Still-
shake your head
I
because
still
I
have a lot of
job.
I know I have such real job envy. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, you as real job? What is real job like? What is real job life like?
You use your degree to get paid for it?
I know. it's
Wait,
silly,
wait,
right?
you
What a
lost
waste
me.
of time.
Yeah, Ron, what's job?
Yeah, what is job? All right, Mike.
Hey, I'm Michael Holmes. I'm a creative type armed with a D20 and a love of surf covers of death metal songs. And my favorite movie about grave robbing is Burke and Hare, starring Simon Pegg and Andy Serkis.
That is
Nice.
a fun movie, actually.
Yeah.
Good take.
Sorry, I'm used to entering.
First off, if someone could just put Mike's canned intro on a shirt, like one of those white text on black shirts that's like the ingredients for a Manhattan, but it just has, I'm Michael Holmes, blah, 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 love a D20, I would totally buy the hell out of that. And wear it, and people would ask me why I was Michael Holmes. All right, we have a lot of announcements today, so bear with me. First off, congratulations us, we are Twitch partners. So as of now, you can subscribe to us on Twitch. If you subscribe during the show, that will put a little chat alert in there, and a mod will probably alert Stephen Pope, who's running the chat room with it for us today, and we will give you a redraw for one of the characters of your choice. I'm afraid I'm not a valid target for that role. It just becomes table redraws. But anyway, if you support us on Twitch, not only does that make Twitch understand that you think we're cool, but also it increases the XP that you receive just by watching the show, although less so than if you were a Patreon backer. There's a whole math to that. I'm sure Dom will explain it in a video or something coming out soon. But supporting us on Twitch is super helpful. Of course, everything you donate here on this show goes to, or to all of our shows, goes to keeping the lights on, keeping the studio together, keeping everyone sort of warm and fuzzy in our delicious studio world. What?
Now, I want that on it.
Yeah. So Twitch partnership, we're glad about that. One thing it will do, however, is delay slightly the uploads of the VOD versions of these shows, including last episode, which is probably not on YouTube yet. It won't take a week or 2 weeks in the future. We're just sort of getting used to the process, but it won't happen immediately. Like, it won't be minutes away because we no longer simulcast on YouTube, so it won't just kind of like up-convert it. So, but you can always watch VODs here on Twitch, and we'll be happy that you did. All right, so donations, one last thing. You can donate during the show on any of our shows to change the game and make things happen. On this show, you can donate with your XP, which you could earn more of if you were a Twitch subscriber, and that XP can be used to give redraws. That XP can be used to give new environmental objects. Those things are fun and useful and help these characters in a game designed to kill them. You can also donate cash, which the donations tab has probably already been shared somewhere in there. If you donate cash to, you activate flares. There are positive flares and negative flares for all 4 of the characters here at this table. And when you add, their positive flares are mostly combat-based, their negative flares are mostly social-based, and half of the money you donate for their flares goes towards buying character art for the various characters done by the actual artists of the game. We're very close to that. We think we'll make it by the end of the year. If you keep donating, keep sending us those flares, we'll get it there. We would love to start the new year with character art. Atmos is one of those sort of, if you imagine this was like a Kickstarter, Atmos is one of those ones you have to go past the, it's a stretch goal.
Right.
Stretch goal for Atmos. A Adalia is still one of the 4 we're going to get because she was one of the original wingmates before she retired. And there you go. So that's most of it. One last little announcement. Friends of the show have a new film coming out on iTunes December 6th that is called Slash. It's a coming-of-age story about slash fiction starring Michael Johnston of Teen Wolf, Hannah Marks of Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, and Michael Ian Black of Wet Hot American Summer, and so much else. We like
So
you.
much else.
Like you, Mr. Ian Black. I interviewed him once, and we talked about Stella. And he's like, I don't think anyone. I thought people thought that was the Kids in the Hall. I'm like, no, we all loved Stella.
Yeah, everyone loved it. Yeah. Everyone who saw it, at least.
So everything good over there on your side, boys? Yeah. All right, it's cool. And that's also opening in select theaters, so go ahead and see that live if you can. So that's Slash, and thank you so much for everybody. Okay, let's talk about where the characters are. Phoenix Dawn Command is a game in which we play with cards, not dice, and in which you level up by dying. You can only do it 7 times. They all started as mortals. They died the first time before the game even started and came back as phoenixes. Phoenixes are essentially superheroes, and that's the way it goes. So right now we have Ink, who is at rank 5.
Yes.
Tell us
Sorry,
about Ink.
I just had an epiphany about my character for next season.
Oh,
Anyway,
nice.
Ink is the ninja librarian of the group. He's the Shrouded, so he has a habit of kind of blending into the shadows and writing his foes away and unmaking them. He currently, as of last episode, is sandwiched in between an endless horde of the undead and a giant monster from beyond belief. So
Yep.
I got that going for me, which is nice.
It's a good weekend.
Yeah. That good?
Everything good over there, guys?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's really good. Thanks for a good tech question. We got it. These are great.
Okay, cool. So Atmos has only been with us for 1 week,
Yes.
and then you were knocked unconscious by a telekinetic blast.
That's the last thing I remember, oddly.
Yes, or anyone
Yeah.
remembers of you, it turns out.
Yeah.
The rogue Phoenix Fade, who you will learn more about why she has no wing, removed
she's
you
a
from
jerk
history,
face.
in a way to protect you, because you were knocked unconscious. You're an elemental, which is basically like the big blast caster.
Yeah.
And you were knocked unconscious, and she basically cloaked you from reality by removing you from everyone's perception and memory until you woke up. So you're going to wake up in a very new world.
Yeah.
And you were famous, too. You were, previously, Atmos
Yeah.
was the most famous
Yeah, she's still my
elemental.
fame. It's fine.
She removed your fame.
Now I'm just a part of this wing, so it fits.
Yeah.
I'm just another misfit.
Yeah, I'm really, really sorry about that.
With any hope, the two of you will be on the same table eventually, and you can have a wonderful hashing out of that.
Yeah. Figure that out.
These two, at the end of our last battle, were sort of pulled down by the hordes of the Chanters. Chanters are like a mob of people who are singing an infectious song that makes you into a terrible death zombie, and if it doesn't affect you, they kill you. And we're actually going to visit that directly. But tell us about who your characters are. We learned about Varia, but
Yeah.
who is pre-rebirth?
He was
Eerie.
just a young street urchin. His mom kept him clothed and fed by, doing odd, less than savory, less than legal jobs. And eventually it came around and bit her on the ass. She was murdered by the local mafia, as was he. And through his successive rebirths, he spent a long time.
1,000 years?
Every time it was 1,000 years. He spent essentially tracking down the person who killed his mom, and it turns out to be one of the fallen folk who he's confronted in the real world now. Yeah.
There you go. And you're sort of a creepy J horror kid with, hair in your face and and you're distorting reality. The more every time you come back, you're becoming more of like a bad American horror movies attempts to scare up the character by like putting Vaseline on the lens.
It's smudgy to look at.
It just gets hard to look at him, to focus on him. It just your eyes start to water and you just kind of like want to blink and look away.
I mean, I don't think a human being can make that sound, but you know that sound that you get in horror movies now whenever something truly horrific is happening that sort of is like, it's like the background of half the scenes of American Horror Story where it's like, and it's like sort of, and it indicates to you that like surreality is happening. I kind of imagine
Like
that
the
is,
world's vibrating a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
It's replaced that like weird string noise that was really popular
Yeah.
for a while.
it is the audio equivalent of that that thing from, what is it, Jacob's Ladder, where people like shake their
Yeah.
face.
Oh wow, Jacob's Ladder.
I actually just rewatched that.
Oh, that's yeah.
That movie's intense.
Or like if you what's that little sketch thing that the video sketch thing where you're like there and then gone and you're like
Yeah.
It is the Slender Man sound from all the video games.
There we go.
Whenever Slender Man is on you, it's always like, you know, I see that donation. I'm going to hold on to that for a second.
So, long story short, Eerie is Slender Man. Got it.
Yep.
yeah, very very short.
Yes, short and Slender Man. Are you a short and Slender Man? Come to Short and Slender Man's Imperium.
Here at Horror Child's Warehouse, we have all these.
Just find 5 pieces of paper and use them. Okay, so
Beautiful.
okay, thank you, Trona, for giving me some amount of control of my own game. All right, so some donations have come in, but we need to do a little bit of sort of, if you will, flashbacking, in which these donations would not have yet occurred. So hold on those donations, people, but I do see them. Okay, so. Oh, and speaking of flashbacking or take-backing, I'm changing the monster who came crashing from the wall into a war worm.
Oh, thank God.
So
Better or worse?
Yeah, I'm not sure why you're relieved.
I think the Shoggoth was interesting, but it didn't fit aesthetically for me. And the war worm works more directly with the bones, so it works better.
We've fought a war worm before.
You fought them all at this point. There's a lot of fallen characters which will be occurring next season that like you haven't met, like the sort of strange mysticism fallen characters, especially because we already know we have one Scavi character coming in. So
I've decided my guy died at the Battle of Madenford, by the way.
oh wow, okay,
There you go.
nice. This is I did forget a Patreon thing. Next season we're gonna it's gonna be a much slower progression game where the war is gonna be sort of have transitioned from a hot war to a cold war. There's gonna be a little bit of time. There'll be more Freak of the Week, sort of Phoenix's X-Files monster battling sort of thing. It will also involve very heavily a rival wing, which is sort of bucking for the attentions of the marshals. And that rival wing will be built by you, our Patreon backers. If you're a Patreon backer, early next year we're going to have a Patreon-only chat where we design them with the creator of the game, Keith Baker, and we'll have all those characters. I'll even see if I can get one of my friends to sketch them out for you, so you can even see them come to life. You'll make 6 characters that will all be thorns in the side of our marshals. Man, you guys are donating such good shit. I'm gonna have fun parceling this out.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
What did you do, chat?
And these are actually our like number one. Nightsteed is not in here yet to start throwing. You know, he or she likes to. Do we say it was he? He likes to throw some flares out, and we already have a bunch in the pipe. Okay, so the battle of the outside the wall. What happened? So you two set up to sort of hold back the Chanter horde. The Chant, which is like a Gestalt intelligence, all Chant mobs being connected, has figured out what you're trying to do and devoted all the Chanters all throughout the caves here to try and descend upon the sort of bulwark city where Ink and Fade went in to try and cure the Chant with the tablet. Mm-hmm. So you stayed back, you prepared items. What happened?
You want to go first?
You were kind of a little bit separated too, so they don't have to necessarily play off each other. There's a lot of cave to cover.
Eerie became, I think, the victim of his own hubris. Mm-hmm. He's at the point now where he's got a fair command of his powers and basically just thought, like, I can do this. No, I can do. Yeah, no. The flow is eventually going to ebb, and they'll take care of what they need to do. We're gonna be. I got this. I got this. I got this. I don't got this. This is not. Fuck.
All right, so yeah, you're zipping around. I mean, you've been showing us how effective it is as a forceful to use like small attacks in rapid succession. So you're like, zipping, you're flash punching all of these different chanters. They're sort of, there's a whisperer shows up, and you're like grabbing, like throwing rapid rocks at it and doing all kinds of fun stuff. You're spinning the chain around, and then eventually, like, just enough hands get on you that you just can't move, and you're like, oh. and they pull you down, and without your wingmates there to sort of blast off the excess, you're not able to pull it together in time, and those last few wounds go on you, and you burn out. Meanwhile, what happens on your side of things?
So obviously we're being swarmed, and at a certain point, she's been chewing and tearing through them, and the hordes just got to be so much, and she snapped. Not unlike the many times that she's done so at Pyre. Thank you, chat. But she went, like, sunk fully into that mindset and just tried to tear through as many as she possibly could, and it was like completely, like, she wasn't in control anymore. And eventually they swarmed her and took her down while she was in that mindset.
Okay. Does that change your Crucible much?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, mostly it's darkness and her failures being yelled at her. But this time it was more violent and chaotic. It didn't really make sense, but she also couldn't think straight either. So it's like she, instead of being able to snap back, because usually she snaps back, it's like she took that extra, like, measure of beast in there with her. So it was just a lot of sound and noise and confusion more than anything before she found her way back out again.
Darkness and my failures being shouted at me is a new line coming out from Hot Topic.
I really like their first record.
Yeah. You're surprised when your, like, sort of regular Crucible experience, which for all of the Phoenixes, you must be the one who wants to die the least, because it's 1,000 years. But this time it's not. This time you sort of, like, find yourself in a sort of an empty space. And after a bit, like, you're sort of looking around, and, like, shadows coalesce into the puppet master, the puppeteer. Well, I thought I'd do you a favor. I thought I'd spare you 1,000 years of essentially learning that you killed me again, or tried. I'm going to send you back in just a few hours, and then you'll be able to go on about your life? Are we going to call it that?
I don't need any favors from you.
I think you need more than that. The forces you're fighting, they're more than you can handle. And to be fair, they're more than I can handle. They're kind of more than we can handle. This is the big, badness. I don't know if you knew something, and I just wanted to tell you. I thought you should know. Tell Ink, he'll be real surprised. Did you know that this all happened before? I don't mean this specifically, us talking in a white room, you running around in a cave like a moron without any support. I mean, there was a whole people on this whole land. There were people, and they had magic, and they had lives, and they built structures, and they had a good time, and they made something so bad, they made something so destructive, that the only way to fix it was to hit restart on the world. We killed everything because the terrible evil monster had a thing where he would kill, or it, I don't know if it's a he. I mean, that feels very gendering of me, but whatever. To be fair, they have done the most evil. But he was set to kill everyone, so we did it for him. And we set our little magics, well, I wasn't there, but they set their little magics so that a few 100 years later, people would start coming back. And that way, we could beat him by turning him off. But then, someone, and you're going to love this, it was a phoenix, turned it back on. And now, it's growing in power again. And all the things that you're fighting are all secretly controlled by this thing. It's called the Hagtark. But here's the thing. I don't want to have to kill everyone again. Because if I have to kill everyone again, I have no one to play with. Then I just cease to exist. That's how you beat me, by the way. You can beat me by killing everybody, too. I mean, maybe that's your thing. I don't know. If you want to do it. I mean, you're pretty fast. See if you can kill everybody before it comes up against you. But the point being, at some point you're going to need my help. And I know you're afraid that if you take my offer, I'll control your body and use it for evil. And that's charming and entertaining, and I think about it a lot. But I promise, all you have to do in the right situation is ask. And I'll come back and help you. Because we have mutual goals. We're on the same path. Fun, right? The mask sort of like curls into a smile. He goes, I'm just saying, everyone has a price. And right now, my price is saving the world. It turns out that even I can be bought. by saving my own life. Exciting times. Anyway, you owe me 999,000 years or whatever the hell it is. Bye! And then you suddenly wake up out of your crucible.
I think Sax actually is the puppeteer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think Sax is the character, but he's really the puppeteer.
My favorite villain I ever played was a character called Blackmail, who was just a low-level telepath, but was the leader of like this giant super villain gang, because he just knew everything about you by knowing you, and basically having leverage over people was all he needed. So he controlled
Right.
everyone by he knew their fears, he knew their secrets, and
man.
it turns out that you can punch through walls all you want, but if someone's like, "Oh, wow, are you really afraid of bats?" is like, and,
You clicked on that link. I know you did.
yeah, somebody's browser history is still in their brain. But he was like, that was the character of Blackmail, and he was really scary because I had very good players like I do today, but that's sort of the real fun of having a table of actual role players is they would show up in the room and I would we had character bios and he would just like throw personal information at them and they would just be like, and then run away. And like my Wednesday night D&D game wouldn't do that. They would just be like, that sucks. Don't say those things. I hit him with a punch. You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
fuck. But no, they were like legitimately just like, bah, like, here are your issues, come to light. And they would just freak out and leave. And
You're
like,
adopted.
yeah, well, yeah, and you've always known it, but you're afraid to mention it in front of people. All right, so that was your Crucible. We know your Crucible. Let's visit Atmos briefly.
Yeah, what have I been up to?
Well, you've been asleep, and you wake up, and you're in the cave where you were knocked out, where the big clock is. However, the clock is set to where they're going, which is good news.
Okay.
And you can tell that time has gone by. Like you have, like all Phoenixes, you have a connection to sort of like. Well, actually, remove yet one more health level because
The-
you
The Eternal Fire.
yeah, the eternal fire and like the dawn and dusk cycles. You can feel like days have gone by.
Check fake watch. Okay.
And you don't have any idea that you've been erased from history, so you are just in a cave. What do you want to do?
Well, I get up, look around, dust myself off a little bit, straighten my super sweet, like leather short sleeve lab coat, check all my pockets, make sure all my secrets are still in there, and then head over to the clock and start deciphering it with the knowledge that Ink and I gleaned when
Okay.
we first got there. And I guess, let's see, I still have my tracking abilities, but not necessarily need them.
Well, you know that when they all died, they were trying to head for where they thought the tablet was.
Yeah.
And you don't know that they've achieved that and moved on to the next thing. So that's true. But you also know that this giant alchemical clock or whatever moves around to represent where all the different Shadowvari people are, and that this was the setting it was at 2 days ago. So like, it's still they're all still hung together somewhere.
So I'm gonna head towards, because I think that was our last decision before I lost consciousness, was to head towards the group of Shadowvari and try to.
Well,
Okay.
actually, the last decision was heading towards what we presumed to be the source of the chant, and then the Shadowvari. So we've done that with mixed success.
Okay, but I don't know that any of this has transpired.
Right.
Right.
So if you want, you can, while you can basically be like a day behind them, and like while they've cleaned out the city where the tablet was, you can show up and pick through the ashes of that, and then they move down the tunnel, and you can basically be tracking them in a very cool episode like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where we replay a bunch of scenes, but
Okay.
now you're behind them.
Like a Dick
Or
Tracy kind
like
of
the
thing.
Muppet movie, where Sweetums keeps trying to catch up.
Yes.
To the,
Yeah, I'll be sweet.
Keeps missing
Let's head down towards the source of the chant. It's all's quiet on the home front, so I might as well.
Yeah.
Can we have a phoenix called Sweetums? I think that would be cool.
Yes. Also, I love me a
Season
large
2.
Muppet. Those are the best Muppets.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a phoenix after a couple death starts to look like a large Muppet. It's totally possible and very
Oh,
upsetting.
Maybe you say we need to do it next season.
Yeah. You can either be like one of the large Muppets, or you can be that monster with two
so
humps from the
upsetting.
Looney Tunes cartoon.
Gossamer.
Is
Gossamer,
Gossamer the name
yeah.
of that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
because he's my favorite Looney Tune character.
Okay. Yeah, I've always been a fan of Sweetums, but there are a lot of the large Muppets I like. I really like the large Muppets. The person in a suit Muppets are always the most fun.
Yeah. All right, so I'll head towards the source of the chant as last we
Okay.
were discussing.
All right, so you head down there and you find that city has been like broken into and destroyed basically because you know they were in there ahead of you, got in, found the tablet and ran, and then all the chanters in the city followed them. So there's nothing in here, but you're able to sort of track them back to where they found the tablet, and sort of you can also, if you want, spend some time here learning about the different necromantic magics that were used, which they did a little bit of. But you being basically the magic user and having the arcane specialty, could spend a few hours like learning what that meant.
I think because the city is just mostly rubble, at least in a large path heading away from what was probably the source of the chant. And it looks like thousands of footsteps. Just that's probably where you guys went. So I'm gonna do the smart thing and poke around for a while.
All right.
I can't get over my curiosity, so I think I need to
Dawdle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make an arcane spread to learn. Mr. Wolfman, I think he might have knocked that light switch off. There we go. I don't know how much more.
Are all those supposed to be on?
Yeah, they're all on. Yeah. It takes a lot. Our cameras are useful, but not very good at light.
There's such beautiful mood lighting though.
That seems so much brighter than it was.
It
I
was.
don't
It
think the lights
is.
were on at all.
Oh, really? You can
No,
turn it
that
back.
one flickered.
Okay.
Something jogged when he left the room.
You can shut it down if you want to. And if we're keeping Jack up, I don't want to.
Sober enough.
Mood lighting.
Jack Kelly from the previous game Masks is crashing on our couch today.
How many cards are the skill spread again?
3.
3. Okay. All right. All right. So then that'll be 5 plus 9. So 14.
All right, 14 is a lot.
15 would help more.
Yeah. Do you want to give me a spark?
Yeah, I make those.
I made it myself.
You get a lot. You learn a little bit more about. As an elemental, you probably have like a basic primer on all the different magics of the various peoples, but you learn a lot more about the Shadowvari necromancy here. You're able to determine that like a lot of it was sacrifice based. And that there's sacrificial altars in this old town which they used to power some of their magics. When you're a constant war and being persecuted, it's really easy to find people you don't mind killing. You also find the sort of Ministry of Magic where they found the tablet, where it appears that the last person running, the last important magician, last important necromancer amongst the Shadowvari created the chant as like a sort of suicide weapon that would go back against their attackers.
Gotcha.
And you learn a little bit more about how that works, which will be useful if you make it back to them. So,
Okay.
And then you head back off, and what you're going to eventually reach, no matter how we talk you in there, is this chant mob of thousands of chanters is basically butting up against the wall that is outside the city that he's in. They're all going towards the wall, like they're all just they're like slamming against the wall, picking up objects and slamming against the wall. The Whisperers are like throwing telekinetic attacks against the wall. There's like small holes where they're trying to filter through, but the Shadowvari are better than that, and they're picking them off with ranged weapons and whatnot. And there's drummers outside this, like in between the city walls, there's these big giant kettle drums being hit, which drown out the chant so that the chanters can't infect people in the city. And all that's happening, but you kind of have to go through it to get into the city. So think about how that's going to happen.
And that's how he died.
Yeah.
Level up.
To be fair, they did just turn on an Airy in the city, so you could just die and go through the Airy. Speaking of that, you've already come out of your crucible, and
A sec, right?
yeah.
Sorry. I should have gone to the bathroom before.
Oh, it's all right. It's good.
We told you.
I know.
You already come out of your crucible, and when you come out, it's like all hands on deck because once the new Airy connects, they're able to start sending phoenixes into the Bulwark City to try and I would say bivouac city to try and prevent like the chant attack and also the other attack. So phoenixes are going out through the flame all the time, and there are like attendants running around, and there's the big new shiny weapons racks are being brought in just in case. Kind of can never have enough. Phoenixes are sort of running around, and they do this sort of like, hey, welcome back, like high five. How do you change in your sixth incarnation?
I mean, honestly, the Crucible was, he was kind of almost expecting it to be kind of a respite. Like, gonna have to deal with another 1,000 years, but, like, just kind of chill. So, he's completely kind of off his game because, boom, just all of a sudden he's right back into it. There's like visually, he's sort of disappearing even more, and like just like physically almost not there.
Okay. Honor sees you sort of come out of the fire, and walks up in his big booming voice that you can hear all over. It says like, "Ah, Eerie, good. I'm afraid I have to send you right back to the front. We're sending you into the city where your wing is currently held up. Hopefully, Varia will join you soon. We already felt her travel into the fire. We haven't seen her come back."
I've done what I'm supposed to do already. Why am I here? Why am I still back? Why are we not done yet?
Well, Ziggy says there's an 80% chance that you
Shut up, Dean.
Oh, Dean Stockwell. If you loved him in Quantum Leap, you'll love him in a movie in which cockroaches infest his stomach that I can't remember the name of, called like Bugs or something. That's pretty terrible. It's like
Slither or one of those.
What's that? Swarm, maybe? Yeah, it's like Dean Stockwell at his worst, best.
I've seen a kid with green hair. It doesn't get much worse.
Yeah. He hands you like a pack, like a small like net bag full of a few of those like Phoenix energy vials, and basically just pushes you back into the fire. Meanwhile, Varia is coming out of her crucible, and how do you look now?
It looks like something maybe went wrong. So normally she was walking around, on two legs, but
There was another werewolf in that telepod.
she's a werewolf.
It'd actually be werewolf, because I believe were is man in that sense.
Yeah, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's fun anyway. Normally she was walking on two legs, but could swap to four. But she's now definitely like not comfortable moving on 2 feet anymore. So she's definitely on four. She doesn't look a lot different. She's gotten bigger, but she's just like the humanity that was still there in the eyes seems a little stripped away. So it seems like she can't quite focus. Like she's having to think really hard to be able to understand anything going on, and like she's having trouble even articulating in response. So it's like she's having to push through something, like she's kind of stuck in the back of her own head.
Okay.
Which is pretty fucked up.
So in my mind, that just basically makes you just a really big, scary wolf. Like you're not so much a werewolf as you're just like a 12-foot upscaled wolf.
Kind of. I mean, like the shape still has a little bit of like a humanoid shape. Like the torso is too long, and the legs are obviously built so it looks like it could, stand up on 2 feet and everything. But yeah, it's essentially like a giant monster wolf.
I like it. So you come out, and Winter is the first to interact with you, and she sort of, like fades over because she's basically like the highest level of the Shrouded. She's got her silver mask on, and she goes, "Oh, well, I guess this should have been expected. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. They need you again." And just points into the fire. I feel like now I'm doing Winter as like every other character that Stephen Pope does. So, what you have a performance type, and I like it. So, do you want to engage with anyone here, or do you want to just head back into the fire and head out?
Just not really interested. Follows where the hand is and just goes into the fire without saying anything.
All right. Meanwhile, in the bivouac city, your things have gotten worse over the few days. Where it almost feels like it's a shelled city. There's the war worm and a number of bone sappers and other bone troops on one side, which are in active combat with the city. But the city's this just happens to be all the Shadowvari best soldiers. Plus, there's maybe another 2 wings of Phoenixes here now that have sort of poured through the area to like reinforce the front. There's also a couple of like first rank shrouded here that are like sort of following your lead. And then on the other side, there's the walls against the chant, which are mostly being manned by the Shadowvar, but there's a few Phoenixes there who are sort of helping, mostly elementals like you, who are just like throwing fireballs like over the walls and holding on the line.
Like we do.
But that side, they managed to sort of plug the hole relatively quickly. Like they breached in and it was really scary, and then like they fought them back. There's a lot of Shadowvari like deaf, troops that are sort of deliberately deafened so they can fight the chanters. And chanters are actually somewhat manageable for actual human soldiers if you have troops that aren't affected, and so they're doing okay. So you have a little bit of time.
Okay.
And the facility you're in contains the area. So, 2 hours ago, Eerie got here.
Right.
And then, 2 hours later, a 12-foot wolf monster reanimates out of the fire.
And he just kind of gets this slight grin on his face, and he's like, "Welcome back, Varia." Yes.
You also find out, not that you're going to be taking it up on today, but like I'm assuming at some point you ask about Fade or because she's not here anymore.
Yeah.
And they don't they're entirely sure people who have come through the area are from like the special ops division of the Dawn Command. No one sent Fade after you. They don't know what's going on. They also haven't heard from Fade or her wing in weeks, and they don't know what's going on with that either. So they have no idea why she was here or what that meant.
Okay.
Thank you, Kate, for being so vague, so I can reverse your choices. All right. Also,
Our mystery wrapped in an enigma.
yes.
Also in a tortilla.
So how do you?
Mystery
Lies.
Mysterito.
Mysterito. That's amazing.
Great.
Hashtag
New
Mysterito.
from Taco Bell.
Yeah, new from Taco Bell Mysterito. It's
Guess what's inside? We don't know either.
mystery wrapped in wrapped in a delicious tortilla shell with taco seasoning with a
Put it on a
burrito.
t-shirt.
At least we think it might be taco seasoning. You
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah. Eat at your own risk, Mysterito.
I mean, honestly, eat at your own risk should be the slogan for Taco Bell in general.
Yep.
100%.
It's also the Misdirectorito, which you're supposed to eat instead of Mysterito.
They just give you 2 and they're like, good luck.
One of these might kill you.
Yep.
The other
One
might
is,
also kill you.
one is full of red herring.
Oh, weird, delightful. All right, so
The new
how
red
does
herring fish taco.
how does Atmos plan on getting into the city beyond deliberately dying?
So
Well, that's me.
there are still soldiers ringing this, playing the drums, correct?
Yeah, but they're like a ways out. But yeah, you can definitely, like imagine like 2 football fields full of like screaming monsters.
And these soldiers are like by the gates or like up above them
Yeah,
potentially.
you can see the drummers like up on like a rise, just like drumming, and they have like ear protection on, and they're just like doom 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 doom. That doesn't by any means keep the no, we haven't used them yet. We're just holding on. But that doesn't in any way like stop you from hearing the chant because the chanters are between you and the drums, but they can't hear it. And then there are soldiers you can see walking around, but they're pretty small at that distance.
Okay. And do I have a height advantage on this whole situation?
You can certainly get up on a rock or something if you need to,
Okay. So
or like scale the cave wall.
yeah, what makes the most sense to me is to get to a place where I don't think the chant mob will be able to climb up above, and then I'm going to just
Spiderette,
tear some shit down. No, I'm going to carve through
Okay.
the cliffside like a walkway, because I'm not climbing all the way over. I'm a waste of my time.
All right.
I am just going to basically like melt the wall and just make a walkway for myself high enough that the champ mob can't climb up to it. And I'm gonna walk over the soldiers, and they're gonna be like, "What the hell is that thing?"
That's Atmos.
Yeah. Or well, actually, they'll be like,
That's
"Who
all
is
right,
that
folks.
Phoenix?"
Yeah, that's incredible. He's doing some really crazy shit. So, using destruction,
Yep.
and I'm gonna try to tilt Vanguard into like it's an inspirational move as I just like walk along the cliffside.
They can't keep They can't keep your fame down.
Yeah.
You've been not famous for like a day, and you're already finding
like-
ways
like,
to
fuck
get
that.
Yeah.
All right,
Watch this. Here, you get a spark for that clever plan.
And so that's gonna be 6 base,
Okay.
and then 16 with the destruction and Vanguard, the inspirational
Okay.
bonus.
What is the so resourceful definitely triggers because
Yeah.
you're being resourceful. And as long as you tell me how lightning plays a part in this, you can definitely call lightning to like notch holes in the rocks. Or just like levitate up to the rocks like the lightning does
Oh.
in Big Trouble in Little China.
That's actually how I got to
Yeah,
a place where I
perfect.
couldn't climb up.
So all those trigger.
And then I'm gonna burn 4 sparks to hit the 20. To
Okay.
Make sure I do it.
I'll take it. Yep, you like melt lightning blast and fire your way into like a small walkway heading up towards it. You know, and there's a lot of like, wah, and like people are like drummers like, doom, doom. What? Doom, 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 doom. Sorry. My bad, guys. And there are phoenixes that are there on the wall, being like, "Who is? I don't think I've ever seen that elemental. You'd think I'd
would've
know
heard
you."
of that.
Yeah. Do you want to like melt the walkway behind you, or do you want to leave it up? Because like the chant could theoretically like single file.
They could like stack up to it.
Yeah, they could pull a World War Z.
Just for shits, I'll call lightning like and just crush the back end like as a disintegrate it.
All right.
So the wall reintegrates.
Rebel
Yeah.
hopefully crushes a few of them.
Well, I will say that affords you a fair amount of A, fame, this mysterious phoenix named Atmos, and B, that also affords you you like basically bolster the town's courage a little bit. Like they're like, we might actually have this. Like if we think like this guy, that whoever he is, we think like him. By the way, both of you still have your notes because they were made through Phoenix Magic, so they come through your Crucible with you.
Oh no, he has mine because I
Oh.
have nowhere to put it.
Oh, that's true. So yeah, you don't have
Unless
it.
I
no
ate
pockets
it
on
or
the wall.
something.
See if I have any money in my. Like, the fuck is this?
Yeah, I left it in my other fur.
It's basically like a scrap of paper with like in Pyrean written like your friend Atmos is an elemental, but like, and it's no information, but seeing it like declouds the memories, and so you remember fully all of his history, as much of it you know anyway. So yeah, I guess you have one of those that's tasked for Varia, but that she doesn't necessarily have to read it. So if you want to give it to somebody else later, you can.
Sure.
Great, that'll be fun. I'm like,
So we're going to start the actual sort of play of this game, if you will. Now that we've basically recapped our way through an hour, we're going to start the actual play of this game. You're all sort of in like a war council that has been formed in the center of the Bivouac City, and barring anyone who knows better, Ink is sort of being at least looked to as an expert, if not in charge. So.
Trying to scratch your ears.
fucking bite your hand off.
Exactly.
That's not a wise decision.
No.
He just like.
I want to thank you all for coming, all the Shadowvari elders and military leaders, my fellow Phoenixes, members of my wing. Atmos, it's good to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Who is that?
For those of you who are unaware of Atmos' work, believe me, he is chief among us when it comes to skills, abilities, and problem solving. Speaking of problem solving, I must admit that now that the chant tablet has been assembled, I am at a bit of a loss for what to do next with it. It's a dangerous weapon. It's dangerous to have assembled. And I'm taking suggestions from the crowd. I need a location and no.
Mad Libs?
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that you found yourself at a loss, because before heading this way, I decided to walk along our path.
Who are you?
I decided to walk along the path that we decided before I lost my memory, and it seems other people did too. And in the old city that you guys left, probably in a better state than you found it.
Arguably.
I found out a couple things about the chant.
Did you?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Um,
You and I must confer further on this. I have one option that I am loath to use, but it is on the table. We'll discuss that when the time comes.
Okay.
one of the Shadowberry elders points, like, how will we defend the city? Does anyone have any ideas to try and push this bone incursion back? City's being boned.
Believe me.
Boner killer.
First the bones came in the mouth, and now the bones are here.
Yes. The bones are all up against all of our backs right now.
Oh, us. All right,
Yeah.
so
They just keep coming.
Can't give them access to the rear entrance.
I don't mean to. Oh. No, that's where the war worm is.
yes,
Just busted right in there. Just right in there with the bone sappers.
yep.
Ah.
Thank you, Keith Baker, for writing this exceptionally punnable.
I don't mean to discount the struggle against the chant mobs and the whisperers right now. Mathematically, if we maintain our assault against them, their numbers will eventually dwindle and fade. How long it will take, I don't know. My main concern at this point is the war worm and the resources we can put forth to that. I'm not a military leader. I'm a man of words. This is all very foreign to me, and even all my experiences in the field as a phoenix have not prepared me for this. I'm sorry, and I don't know why. Suddenly a little James T. Cook.
Well, some of the younger phoenixes.
Do you want to lose an eye?
I do.
In real life?
This one, yeah.
You just want to pirate eye patch.
My least favorite item.
Yeah.
Some of the younger phoenixes like instantly stand up and volunteer to like go on a assassination mission against the war worm and its sort of
Volunteers.
cadre. You suspect they would not survive, but the option is on the table of sending sort of a strike force against that, or even participating in such a strike force.
I feel, especially with the return of my wingmates Eerie and Varya, unfortunately at the height of their powers, and Atmos,
Okay, I thought you forgot me too for a second.
you're not technically a part of our wing, although you are now.
Yep.
Okay.
Perhaps the time has come to take the fight to the war worm. We can then turn all those resources back on the chant mobs, and hopefully we will all survive to see the chant bested. Eerie,
Why haven't you figured out the book yet?
it's a little more complex than a normal book.
How complex is it?
Would you like to read it?
Create a scapegoat like we did back at the city, the town, and be done with this.
I need to have words with you later. Varya? Do you wish to take the fight to the Dread? So that's Varya.
Yep, that's a yes.
Atmos?
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right.
So, the war worm is basically sort of appearing and disappearing on the far side of the city where it sort of crashed through the wall, being supported by a number of bone champions and bone sappers. I didn't write that part. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Here, we can actually show what all of these look like. If you'd like to see our bones, we can put them
Yeah, I
in
want to see what a
the...
bone
Yep,
sapper
put 'em on
and
the
a bone
table.
champion
Yeah.
Put them on
looks
the
like.
table. Whip them out. Put them on.
All right.
Oh, wait, whatever this is should not go over there. Oh, no, that's the sapper.
Yeah.
So you want...
There you
Give me
go.
the
You can have
whisper.
the whisperer back. The war worm. The bone sappers just look like they're real wasted. And the bone champion has a sweet hammer. I'm a little bit jealous, actually.
Even even undead have to be like suicide bombers have to be like totally like liquored up first.
Yeah.
That's fair.
They were duding too angrily about it, and someone's like, "All right, fine, just get lit before you go."
Well, when you blow up as a skeleton, there's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
True. It's pretty
Yeah.
definitive.
This very much feels like a boss battle where we need to knock the bone sappers into the mouth of the war worm, will then eat it, and then
I will 100% accept that tactic. if you want to create for yourself like an early N64 boss battle conceit, it'll definitely work.
It's weird though. The bone sappers have red barrels on them.
They like start flashing as you get like, oh no, that one's about to go. And then the war worm has like a flashing sections on it to indicate where you're supposed to shoot it.
Yeah.
Takes
Star
enough
Fox.
damage, just stops for a while and opens its mouth. Like the appropriate height to knock a bone sapper in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did its life bar just refill? Fuck.
I think that was a missed
stages.
opportunity in the what was that fucking movie that was
Pixels?
no, well, yes.
Everything
Probably.
was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, there were so many missed opportunities in Pixels. For example, they could have just thrown the film stock into a fire.
Yeah.
They
They
missed
could have
that
just
one.
not made it at all. That would have been good.
What, yeah.
I meant freaking what's the thing? It's
Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the tropes that I'm sure we'll see it in like Ready Player One or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hear that, Spielberg? We're writing your movie for you.
The books go more in depth with that in terms of like the various bosses he fights because the movie just kind of jumps to the end.
You mean Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's great.
All right, so that is definitely on the table. Do you guys want to go? How do you want to sort of approach this battle?
Head on.
Apply directly
No,
to
I
the
mean, I
forehead.
feel like, yeah. Phoenix Dawn Command. Apply directly to the forehead.
Oh, running straight in, obviously.
I feel like it's come to that. No, I feel like the Reborn plus Atmos will kind of be the vanguard, and then we can have the other two more. Well, you said there's two more wings, right?
There's two more wings here, yeah.
But some of
There's
them are
Braid's
like-
wing is here.
Okay, Braid's wing.
But Braid's entire wing won't come anywhere near Varia right now.
Understood. They can take the rear, and then I feel like the younger wing needs to kind of stay put, and they'll be sort of our break class in case of emergency.
Okay.
And if anything, their main mission is to try and find a way to get as many Shadowvari out as possible.
Okay. They'll definitely support you there. Let me cook up some environmental scenarios. In addition,
So Braid's
starting.
wing is taking the bones with the rear.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we're going face first for the worm.
Starting this battle, you will have Shadow Wolf, thanks
Oh.
to the wonderful Xenar Faith.
Xenar
Thank
Faith.
you. That's
And
really
in addition to the weapons rack, I'm going to add because why not? Trona has also added a weapons rack with love poems inscribed on it from Not Bob. So Bob, Not Bob, or Robert, Not Bob, Top Knot anyway, has basically created his own line of premium weapons racks that have been scrawled on them love stories to Varia and surprising hate scry against the ship between you and Ink.
The craftsmanship is really beautiful. Something
Yeah.
to really be admired.
And they're
I
really
mean, none of that's true. I don't know why he would write that, but
capturing the market.
Yeah, a little bit of slash never anybody.
exactly. I'm a Phoenix. I'm not concerned about things like that.
Is that so?
If you had to sleep,
Or
it would
is
keep
it-
you up at night.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it just that she's like becoming a larger and larger wolf every time? Like, what's really holding you back here, buddy?
When I was immortal, the pleasures of the flesh were not exactly my main priority, at least not in a way that was widely accepted. So as a Phoenix, it's an odd adjustment to make.
Say no
furries in
more.
this
Wink,
world?
wink, nudge, nudge. Bob's your
What was that?
Yeah, furries in this world.
Sure, they must.
I
we're
know,
gonna
not
have
not
Muppets
Bob.
soon,
I'm
right?
pretty sure.
But they actually just
Is
put on
heading
like
that way.
animal pelts. And, yeah.
Let's see here. Let's.
There's an undeniable connection between Varia and I. And I certainly hope that whatever comes next for us, she finds peace.
That sounds like a thinly veiled threat. But we'll just move on from that. You didn't hear any of that, right?
She's a wolf. She hears everything.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
I
you would
thought.
really think I wouldn't.
That's what I thought. But maybe we're just charging towards this mass of enemies in such a way that nope, she heard everything.
Oh, she heard everything. She just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. You see
Okay.
bones to gnaw on.
All the
That's a gross
bones.
stereotype, sir.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pigeonhole you.
Don't wolf shame.
Did Zinner Faith include a message on the Shadow Wolf buy as well that we're supposed to be looking at? Okay, so there are weapon racks. There is a poetic weapon rack. There is a cave-in. There's a waterfall. There's rubble, and there is sappers' barrels that have been left alone.
Okay.
And other than the other was from Trona, there you can delete those other two because I've used them now.
Can we get a torch?
Yeah.
Fucking not, Bob.
The weapons are that beautiful, though, so
Is there a
can't
torch
fall
up
from
there?
there.
No, there is. There's the old book torch. Book torch. That's the wrong term.
torch.
We're
No,
just
I gotta
waiting
go
for
to-
the blood to fill in all of the poems.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like Cabin in the Woods?
Oh, Zenar.
Always.
Zenar, oh, you sweet, sweet person. Zenar says, sorry about Monday Night Dungeon Fight, have a buff, was the message he sent on your...
Aw.
We all agree
thank
that your
you.
character was well designed, Zenar. Do not take any responsibility
No,
for
that was super fun. Plus, I got to play a mini that took up 4 spaces and looked really intimidating, so that alone was just delightful.
You got your woof?
Yes.
Great.
Yes. Murder wolf.
Murder Wolf. All right, so there's your stuff. The War Worm is sort of like, cruising up against walls and blasting through defenses, and the soldiers are sort of running out and trying to spear it, and then it ducks back onto the ground. And as you're arriving, it's going to go hidden, so it's going to submerge under the ground.
Ink whispers under his breath to no one in particular. He says, Shai Halud, old man of the desert.
Oh, I was actually thinking maybe you're going to name it a graboid.
Ooh.
Also valid, yes.
The bones are basically engaged directly in combat with some soldiers. The bone champions look pretty nasty, and they are doing a pretty good job of holding back the tides. Let me write down some health levels. And who's going to take the torch, and what are you going to do with it?
Well, my theory of the mind, just trying to combine the various things, but is that even a thing you can do? You're just like, I'm just going to
I like
break
Yuri's
things up.
idea about using the sapper barrel on the War Worm, but I feel like we need to take care of the Bone Champion first because he's a big, juicy threat, and we can't have him and the War Worm coming at us at the same time.
Deal.
So I'm, you know what? Emboldened by his new role as sort of an ersatz leader, Ink's going to take the fight to the Bone Champion.
Okay.
Oh, are you going first? Is
Oh,
that
no,
what's
you can go
happening?
first. No, go for it. Sorry, I didn't realize you'd taken the torch. You, absolutely, go first.
Do you want it?
I don't. I want you to go first.
More threats, I like it. Back to normal.
Plus, I need to cycle some stuff through.
Yes, cycle it.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and use a redraw to get another card in my hand. That actually helps a little bit. So let's see. We have I'm guessing there's a whole bunch of the Bone Champion is one or multiples?
Mm-hmm.
That's,
There's
that's
one.
not an answer.
There's
for
one
that.
bone. What I'm going to do is reimagine the Bone Champion and the Bone Sappers into sort of like group enemies, if you will. So there's
Okay.
a number of Bone Champions. If a small number, but there's a few, and they'll just all be pulling from the same health pool.
Okay.
So as opposed to like one single hero, there's there's some meat to get your claws in. Although actually, literally no meat.
I was
But
gonna say,
there is-
yeah,
there's.
There's a marked
can you go ahead
dearth
and cross
of
off
meat.
the poetic weapon rack? Because I'm going to throw them into it.
Oh, Varia, for you and your elegant mane, death cross my... He's not a good poet.
He's a better weapons
So,
maker than I am.
crude but effective.
How
I'm sure that's
about
really
that?
surprising.
Okay.
So that's going to give me 5, 10, 15, 19. Would it be better to make that an even 20?
Probably. Well, they have a defense. The Bone Champions have a defense of 8. So, so like anything they can get past that is definitely going to be a good thing. And they have health levels of 6. So.
So that gives me an even 20.
Mm-hmm.
Which is low, but it'll get higher soon.
Yep. So 20 minus
higher,
8
baby.
is 12, which is 2 health levels. You slam it for 2.
Calm
Boom.
down, free pace.
You guys can feel free to burn like maybe one or more sparks than you normally would, since I can relatively freely give them back to you by attacking and being hurt.
Oh, I never really think
Yeah.
about using my sparks. Also, because of other reasons. But I guess I can start using them.
You good to go back? Cool. So I flip over Dream Shadow, so I'm hidden, and I'm going to take it to the Bone Champions as well.
Okay.
I'm going to use Astonishing Luck, so that's 4 right there. And since I'm hidden, I get to use another card in my spread. So there's 8, 12, 16, 20.
20. 2 more health levels on the Bone Champion. Zuh. Okay, so well, let's see. Oh, sorry. Both of you can actually burn 2 sparks if you want to anyway, because the hitting the Bone Champion like basically lights you on fire. And if you burn 2 sparks upon being hit, you can get rid of that fire condition.
How long are...
It takes a spread to remove the fire
Oh.
condition. So if you don't want to have to sacrifice a spread, give me 2 sparks.
All right. Almost.
Does that affect me since I'm like kind of on fire all the time?
Yeah, it's evil fire. It's evil fire.
Spooky fire.
We were talking about necrotic lightning earlier.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
evil
It's
fire.
super spoopy fire.
Which is also distinct from Fearer, which is
Yes.
fear fire.
And then there's Creppy Acid.
Yes.
Yep. He is going to attempt to hammer stroke.
Really?
Sorry. You know, none of this.
And next, is he going to take out his shake weight? Like, what the fuck?
Well, he's doing this to.
What does a hammer stroke look like?
That, you do it all the time. I mean, like in the privacy of your own home.
Yeah.
So he's going to attempt to. Let's see. I'll flip a coin here. It's going to be one of the two of you who is currently, one of the two of you that's currently engaged. So this will be Mac, and this is Mike. So that's Mike.
Okay.
So this is a defense 18. But it's a standard defense. So
Oh,
you can
also
cut
that last attack was +4. I don't know if that matters or not.
no, it wouldn't have cut another.
Okay. 18, all or nothing?
No, not or nothing. No, not even close. Standard attack.
Okay.
So you can-
I'm going to do 13.
13. So that's a remainder of what? Are you throwing these on defense?
Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Then I can only do 10.
10. All right. So that's a difference of 18.
8, and my endurance is 3.
That's true. 8 divided by 3 is what?
2?
2? 2? Yeah, 2. Take 2 wounds.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, good job that. And the Bone Sappers are going to throw bombs into the group of Phoenixes. So that is going to be an attack of 6. And it's going to be against you two. Attack 6.
Okay.
Defend 5.
Yeah, you're fine. Oh, no, sorry. You'll still take a wound from that because it's times 3 damage.
Oh, well, in that case. 8.
All right, you're fine.
Nasty.
Blimey.
You're also fine. You can lose a health. You can restore 1 health level because the day has gone by since the.
You'd think I'd know
so-
that with my internal Phoenix clock.
Yeah, well, this is why I'm
Well,
telling
we
you
were
now.
catching up, and
Yeah.
you're telling stories.
It's daylight
and-
savings time.
Hey, look at my
Yeah.
chant tablet. Isn't it creepy and cool?
Yeah, ooh.
Yeah.
All right, who wants
Angry Birds on it.
the torch? One more before the Warworm attacks.
Oh, sorry. I just
No,
assumed.
that's fine. I want you guys to burn some sparks so I can make some bad decisions.
Fun fact,
Bad
there was
decisions are the best.
an all-girl band in Albuquerque named Sparks, not like the other band Sparks. And all the sisters went to my high school. Yeah, they were Tejano band.
Cool story, bro.
Thanks, man.
I do like family bands. There's something cool
like your
about
hat.
that.
Suits you.
Does it have
It's the
little,
warm
like,
and
paw
fuzzy that
things?
Zach talked about at the beginning of the show.
No, I know.
Does it have the paw pockets or hand
Paw
grips?
pockets.
Paw pockets. Nice.
What are you gonna wear? Paw pockets.
This thing basically saved my life when I went out camping.
I did enjoy that picture of you on the rocks.
Yeah, although it was fun when I put it on today and I reached in the pocket and I still had the wristband
When you
for
were
my
in
ER
emergency
visit.
room, yeah.
And I'm like,
jeez.
oh, that's a bad memory for
So
her
Mac
to
went
have.
camping for the first time.
Yeah, and it was the very last day that the campground was open. And it was like freezing temperatures. And the first night we slept in a tent, and I felt like a really fucking bomb survivor for being able to survive the night. So the next night we said, we'll be pussies and sleep in the car, and we could turn on the heat. I had a little bit of whiskey. Like, I can drink a lot of whiskey, and I hadn't had that much. But I'm like, oh gosh, I feel like I have like, I'm sick from alcohol. I don't understand. And started like throwing up all night. And then in the morning was still throwing up. And then I started throwing up blood. So I had altitude sickness and apparently some dehydration. So they had to give me like 2 full IV bags of fluid at the ER. So that was fun.
Okay. And so now you found your delightful ER badge, your wristband.
Yeah, so
Memories
good
came flooding
times.
back.
TLDR, never go camping.
Yeah.
No, camping was awesome. It was
Nature
just
sucks.
it was just a bad combination
Don't
of
go
things.
outside.
Nature
Just
gave you
don't
altitude
go
sickness.
outside.
What do you got there?
Anyway.
An attack for 12 and an attack for 8 on the bone
survived.
sappers.
On the bone sappers?
Yeah.
You know it has a defensive. Oh, the sappers. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
It
So
was
that's
really
1 health
warm
level
and
there
freezing
and 2
temperatures, let me
there.
tell you.
Cool.
I mean, that's a lot
Good
of
job
fun
that.
there.
All right, the warworm is going to attack. The warworm is going to attempt to swallow one of you.
What?
Yep.
That's delightful.
Usually the other way.
That's on the card. That's
around.
not.
Yeah, no, it is true.
Okay, yeah.
Let's
It's a standard. The swallow is a standard melee attack. In case anyone was wondering what a swallow counts as.
Hey, the worm swallows.
What game are we playing again?
Super ironic.
What was that
it have
notoriously awful RPG that is incredibly offensive and it's got all the Fatal. Yes.
Hole is also bad.
Yes. You all can Google that for yourselves because I don't want to talk about Fatal anymore.
Swallow. So it is going to be an attack of 18 against Eerie.
Oh dear.
Grateful it's you.
He just looks so bite-sized.
What happened?
It basically just comes up underneath you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't stay in his belly?
Well, you will if you fail these. If you fail to defend, yeah, you definitely will.
Ooh, you can slice your way out though.
Yeah.
That'd be
That's all I'm
fun.
saying.
There's absolutely it has absolutely no other effects. So other than that, you take a lot of damage. You take damage in there, but I actually have to get some mission text. Maybe it will have some effects, but not a lot. All right, so here's a pack of 3 redraws for the table. There's these 4 already that we've been carrying on. You need them. And Night Steed also activates Burning Chrome, so you light on fire
now.
Is he supposed to do that?
Just means I'm really excited.
Sore throat pain
There's
strikes.
Lots of swallowing
And you just can't
happening.
hide it.
We're in the bone zone. Yeah.
Whoa. We found Atmos's thing.
Hey man,
The undead, unfortunately.
if that's your kink, you know what? As long as you're not hurting anybody, except the dread, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what does it for me.
Yeah.
Murdering the dread.
Can I die again?
I can manage a defensive 10.
Okay, so I think I think you're swallowed is the real answer.
Also, Memories of the Chant is my single favorite card in the whole game.
Just in the art style, you mean, or
Well, just the effect and the picture and everything.
okay? So let me get the siege worm,
Siege worm? Warworm?
warworm. I love these books, but the format of this book like forces it into like a long, you got to travel back and forward for information.
I've got the chant in my head right now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Or Careless Whisper? Which
Careless
one?
Whisper, yeah.
All right.
There's got to be a ska cover of that, right?
Yeah,
You
definitely.
would assume, right? Because there's a ska cover of pretty much everything, yeah.
Everything, yeah. Because ska's great. Will you grab me a beer, Josh?
Yeah.
Whatever's in there is fine.
Including Not Your Father's Root Beer.
Yep, that's also fine. Still says beer on some level.
And it's delicious.
Thank
Either
you.
Did one.
Keys?
Ooh, here we go.
Are we soundtracking right now?
Is this Scott Bradley? Oh yeah, it is.
Okay, so here's the way it goes. If you
It's the swinginest chant ever, baby doll.
Postmodern
wow,
jukebox
I was
is
about
the
to say,
best.
was it Postmodern Jukebox?
Yeah.
Robin Adele Anderson on the vocals.
Very-
I played you
Delightful.
guys the Death in Vegas version, right? Or Death in Rome?
That Whisper's got a great voice.
Yeah.
Really taking
I
it.
don't know, it doesn't feel very careless, though.
Yeah.
Seems
It's a very measured
purposefully
whisper. Yeah.
intentioned.
That's true. That's true.
It's just a trio of whispers. One of them's got a bass. One's got a piano.
And now I'm just picturing the ghosts from Haunted Mansion.
Oh man, you know what would be great? A Rankin and Bass
Ezra,
animated
Phineas,
version
and
of
Gus.
Phoenix Dawn Command, where
No, the bus, the grim grinning ghosts, those guys.
Well, they're the three hitchhikers.
Then not the hitchhikers.
Well, there's 5 singing bus.
Okay, then yes, that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay. And one
All
of
right.
them is Thurl Ravenscroft.
Yes, that
Which
I
is
knew.
awesome.
Okay, so here is the deal with being swallowed by the Warworm. You are going to take 2 points of brutal damage at the start of every turn.
What?
You can negate that damage by burning 2 sparks. While on the worm, you're immune. You cannot be attacked, and you're immune to the Tremors effect. There are 2 ways to escape the worm. You can make a grace spread difficulty 30, athletics, acrobatics, or fire to crawl or burn your way out. Or you can attack the worm from the inside. Its defense is reduced by 5, and if you inflict 2 wounds, removing 2 health level 10 tokens, you're able to hack through its skin and escape.
Well, that's Erie's solution.
Yeah. Hack the worm. Hack the worm.
Hack the worm, guys! I don't know why I'm on roller skates. It's because I'm what's his name from Hackers.
Yeah.
I'm serial killer.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Spandex.
Death in
It's a
Rome.
privilege, not a right.
Oh yeah. Okay. The most ominous of our chants yet.
Yep. And it just goes on from there.
Forever.
Exactly. Until
Feel free
all
if
are
you
dead.
if you want to play your own cover of Careless Whisper and send it to us, we'll definitely play it on the show.
No, because there's a Seether cover that I refuse to click on or listen
Well, no,
to.
they have to
or-
play their own, like, and,
No,
they have to,
just-
and they have to give us permission to air it if they, yeah. Please,
Oh,
if you,
Braid, I'm looking at you.
yeah, I bet you Braid has a singing voice. Is Braid Robin Adele Anderson? Is that? No, I'm taking it too far. Improvisational singer. Man, that cruise ship crashed. All right, so all right, so you are swallowed, and that is the end of the Warworm's turn. The Warworm is also, going to release Tremors. All phoenixes must must discard a grace card at the start of your turn. If you cannot, you have to discard 3 cards.
Holy shit.
Wait.
At the start of the turn?
At the start of your turn, you discard a grace card.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, worms are nasty, but
Use
it had to
both
be a
of
big
these
fight.
right
where
now, BT dubs.
yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean, yeah, it's true. You could just basically, instead of discarding a card, you can spend a redraw to draw a card to discard it. Or you can spend a redraw, draw a card, figure out if you want to keep that one more, and then discard that. That was your action. The Warworm's gone. Atmos is next, and then we're back around the top.
Well, let's see what I want to do. these assholes. So the Bone Champs are our current target, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gonna focus down. Well, then I am going to focus attack. I'm gonna go with lightning that for some reason looks really sharp.
Okay.
Super sharp lightning, like it's a little bit too directed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that cartoon lightning
yeah.
where it's
I don't wanna
actually
hurt-
pointed.
Exactly. I don't want to hurt Varia.
I appreciate that.
I'm not really sure what ink is doing, but I'm pretty sure if I make them like knife sharp
Well, you
lightning
can
blades.
see me. I'm
Yeah.
hanging out with the
Alright.
bone sappers.
And so that is going to be 9 to exceed their defense, I believe.
Okay.
And I also get to discard cards in my hand. So I'm going to discard just 1 for now, and that gives me a spark back. So then you guys all regain a spark.
Awesome.
Fabulous.
And yeah, so
And that also, so 9 gets past their defense, but you need to do it. You need to do another. You need to do another 5 more to take a wound level off them.
Are we talking the bone champions? or-
Yeah.
Bone
Okay.
champions. Okay, that's a little bit more extreme.
But you definitely have more cards you can throw into that. Which fighting skill are you using?
Intellect, and I do not have that. So
Redraws.
yeah.
This is a boss fight.
Good
Use that rocket launcher we've been sitting on all level.
Oh, why is this happening to me?
Take another one, man.
You might be able to use 1 card as intellect though in your.
Already did.
Oh, you
No.
did. Yeah, you did.
Oh,
you
using
used the
the
grace
grace,
cards in
yeah.
intellect. Keep
Okay.
going. Keep playing. I mean, you're going to need these cards anyway. It's not like they're going anywhere. Oh, I should mention if any of you have the chant in you at this point,
That was wrong.
We don't.
We're going this way.
don't.
Yeah,
If
that
you
was
if you have an affliction, you can get rid of it because you've been
Okay.
away from it long enough to be cured.
Oh. Well, that's helpful. We're
Okay.
gonna add 5 to that with Hunter.
Nice. Hunting lightning.
And that'll, that's crazy. So it's like angled and zigzagging in and out.
Yep.
Heat-seeking lightning.
Yeah.
Have you
Something.
ever seen, did you ever read the Final Crisis crossover for DC Comics? I'll take that as a no. That's okay. Darkseid's the big bad in that, and his main kind of final boss weapon is the Omega Sanction, where basically he shoots lasers from his eyes that take these weird
Oh
geometric
yeah,
routes.
it's really crazy.
Nothing can outrun them. It's also
That's functionally what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
But not from my eyes, because that would be crazy.
that's weird, and that's Darkseid's move. You don't want to ape Darkseid's move.
I'm also doing this while charging at them.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm shoulder down. I'm on fire. Shit is going hectic right now.
What'd you bring it up to? So 5.
So.
Oh, that's it.
then-
No, that's 1 health level right there.
Yeah. So it would be, so that's 11 on the board, plus 2, so 13, and then the 1 with the spark.
Okay. So,
14 all told.
and did you add 2 from your Talon?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that's 1 health level, and they also are burning because you are currently you're currently hot chrome.
Yeah. I fired lightning and then just tackled them. It was crazy.
It was good. Everyone liked it. They thought it was really cool. All right, now unfortunately the enemies go again because it's a little bit
Seems
weird.
like he should be a famous phoenix.
Who is this guy?
Oh.
He's like the best. That's Outmost. You guys know Outmost.
Oh wow. The bone sappers are not going to attack you this turn. They're just going to keep sapping at the foundations and buildings because they don't want to throw in towards the bone champions who will get hurt, and the only other target is in the war worm. So they're out. But the bone champion is going to attack, and he's going to attack you. So draw up, by the way, if you haven't already. If you go up to 5.
But no, wait. You can get rid of that though, right?
What?
Well, he just drew an affliction card. But you
Oh yeah,
said-
you get rid of it. Yeah,
Oh,
Those- you're not afflicted anymore. You've been away from. They cured you during the days you were off. So draw 5 cards.
All right.
One thing I like to do on my days off is get killed from the chant.
And apparently go to Pepperidge Farm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
All right.
Do 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 do. Oh no.
All right.
So this is a defense
Hit me.
of.
I want to hear the
This is-
Pepperidge Farm guy chanting.
This is a defense of 18.
Well, I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet, I got no rhythm.
It's sad that the internet didn't exist when shit like that came out because somebody some Super Deluxe would have paid the guys who did the Petridge Farm commercial to do like other shit. Dildos, Petridge Farm, remember? You know, like it would have.
Hashtag bones.
No, for some reason, it just occurred to me that
so
David Boreanaz
I'm
is probably
only gonna
somewhere
get
around
to-
here carrying around a big old
I'm gonna get to 7, but
Little
it's kind of
barrel
okay
full
for
of
now.
explosive.
Attacking us with his super pointy
I
cheekbones.
know the edge was going, and then I don't know where the.
Buffy.
Yeah, oh well, at least it fell off as opposed to being like stuck open. That's probably better. Oh, horror movie teleport for you, Erie.
Oh my.
And I'm apparently giving you a redraw. I've already picked it up, so I'm going to have to commit to it. I don't know why I felt it necessary to give you a redraw for that power.
Merry Christmas.
Free redraw. Thank you, Nightsteed.
Yes.
Magic of Hanukkah.
So yeah, so
This is
7 defense.
very helpful.
7 defense. Okay. So first things first, and guess what? By the way, burning conditions stack. It turns out.
What?
They don't, however, do extra damage. The way they work is it takes more turns to get rid of them. So it basically he's going to be burning again because he hit you. And you said 7 was the thing, so 10, 5, okay, so you're going to take 3 wounds from that.
Okay.
So he whacks you for 3 wounds, and you can either take a burning condition yourself, yes, remember, a different type of fire,
Yeah.
or you can give me 2 sparks.
You still have your vial, right?
Those are my sparks.
Yes. No, I know, but for each
No,
wound.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to keep that in
Oh, yeah,
mind.
for each
yeah,
wound.
I was considering the vial.
Yeah.
For each wound, I get 2 sparks, so I would get 6, or at least go back up to my maximum, which is 5. 5 is my max.
5, okay, and a spark for everybody else.
Yep.
Ran away. Damn it. All right. So do you want to spend 2 sparks to not be on fire?
Yes, and
Okay.
I'm also going to burn 5 sparks, draw the rest of my cards, and make a ranged attack that inflicts brutal fire damage with these.
Shit.
So
He is the best.
that's
He is the Kwisatz Haderach of...
Oh my god, Atmos is a killing word. It's the anti-chant.
10. So,
going outside is my anti-chant.
So,
You beat me by like a second.
so 13.
We dare you to find a show on Timmy Throw with more references.
inflicts brutal fire damage.
Okay, so it is how much brutal fire damage?
Unless it does my.
Yeah, it's an attack.
Okay. Yeah, so 15 all told.
15 all told. So 8 will get out of that. So 15 minus 8 is
7.
7. So 1, 2, because it's brutal damage.
Right.
And we'll put another burning condition on him, which is great.
Cool.
And at the top of his round, actually, he lost a health level because he was burning.
Yeah.
And there you go. So it's anybody's torch.
Oh, no. You're going to hack your way
Okay,
out?
do you want to give me two sparks?
Question.
Yeah.
Did I take damage
You
when
might
he
want your
swallowed?
cards back,
No.
friend.
It's only when there's air.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Second question.
Certainly
Technically,
do
I'm
for
hidden,
what I'm
yes?
doing right now. Thank you.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. You are technically hidden. Oh wait, so,
So-
you're just gonna teleport out?
Can I just teleport out?
Yeah, you need to.
All right, then.
You need to. You're basically giving up your hidden condition to do that. So your power. You end your power there. But thank you, Nightsteed, for basically saving him the
Thank you,
trouble.
Nightsteed, for-
But you got to give me 2 sparks, or gonna take 2 wounds from it. So there you go.
Fair enough.
Cool. Good deal. All right, nice. So which one of your wingmates do you want to appear next to?
Eek,
Okay.
obviously.
Yep. So
Because I always end up like, hey, it's like right behind you.
Erie?
Ink.
Shepherd.
I should go.
Bullwinkle.
It's your-
Callback lines.
it's your
It's been
turn,
So
so-
long.
All right.
So long.
I am going to.
Still 4 wound levels on the Bone Champions. A lot more. Oh, the Sappers do heal, by the way. So they heal.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, so they healed 2 wounds.
We thought they were just like dicking around, like the foundations of buildings. Like, what are they doing? Turns out
They heal anyway, so it doesn't really matter for them, yeah.
Here in the Bone Sappers Union, we're very big into self-care.
So Bone. Okay, so
Helpful
the
healthcare.
chant is Careless Whisper, and Bone Sappers are Petridge Farm. I get it. In a strange 1-for-1 cipher of this game.
Yeah, I'm going to dart over and sit on top of a sapper barrel, and then just start throwing rocks at the war worm. So come at me, bro. Come on.
Okay.
You thought you didn't.
All right.
I'm still here.
I'll let
Eat
you.
me.
I'll let you prep an attack on the way down his gullet as well. So put that because he's got 2 more before he goes. So so you go ahead and get an attack ready and then pass the torch.
May I? Do you want to go?
No, that's fine.
Sure.
Just fucking hit things, okay?
So seeing what Yuri is doing, I'm actually going to duck behind the rubble that some of the sappers have been attacking. So I'm hidden. And I'm going to make an attack.
Waste a perfectly good rubble.
I know. So
You can still
that's
use
still
it.
a
It just doesn't
weapon
give you a
rack.
card.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Oh yeah, did you draw a card from Sapper Barrels? Yep.
okay. So there's 4 from Dream Shadow. So there's 9.
Dream shadow.
12. And since we have a spark making machine here, if anybody wants to put a spark in, I can make that 21. And this is going against the bone sappers. So there we go.
21. Okay. Did everyone do it? It's got 2 sparks. Did somebody hold a spark? There we go. So 21. So that 21 minus 4 is. No, yeah. Get rid of that. Draw that card. 21 minus 4 is
17.
17. So that is 4, 8, 12, 16. So that's a lot of health levels there, but they're still up.
Sure.
Okay, so that was 2 of you. So the Bone Champion's going to go again. He is going to take a wound from being on fire, and then he is going
Wait,
to.
sorry. No, don't listen to me.
Okay,
Don't listen to me.
I'm not listening to you.
do.
I'm not listening to you. All right, he is going to attempt to finishing blow you. This is a. Fuck off, everybody. Okay, listen. A lot of listen. A lot of sexual innuendo and terminology is based on like an attacking
Medieval
and
combat?
defending
Okay.
sort of thing. So the concept of a blow, well, obviously we also know where that comes from. But I'm just saying, Keith Baker is not like weird pervy person.
No, I blame Steven for upping the sexual
tell you when
energy
you're
in this
older.
room with
Yeah.
masks, and
Yes.
then we have to walk into it.
Steven's raw sexuality is
gets
making it
older.
very hard for us not
He's
to.
thousands of years old, by the way.
and when you get older.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, so
All
the
right, so
bone
it's
attempts
now
to
it's not the
finishing
time.
blow you. That,
It is kind of him to not like half finishing blow you.
that's
I
way
mean, he's
worse.
willing to go all the way.
Fire blue all of a sudden, like, whoa.
So this is nasty, and it's a defense 12. And if anyone can help, they should, because you don't want to take this. You don't want to take it. You want to take as little as
don't
you
wanna take
possibly
it.
can.
All right. Well, I noticed
have
that he
any way
looks
to help.
real mad. I'm gonna pull out the vial and crush it.
Okay. You can. I'll say. How about this? You can do that or defend, because like it's an action. So if you're just gonna sort of take it,
Are you going to take it?
it's nasty. It's real nasty. So you might.
Yeah.
It's so nasty.
I'm just concerned about.
I'm here to
Both
ruin
of
your
you,
life.
you're saying it, and he's typing it to me. We're getting like double innuendo attack. I'm getting it from both directions.
Whatever you like. It.
Yeah. Anyway.
Also, Innuendo is one of my favorite
Okay.
Queen songs ever, for what it's
Well,
worth.
I'll burn a spark
I don't have any way to
Yeah.
assist.
get +2 defense. This is
So now you just need to hit 10.
I don't either.
going.
You don't have Death Wish or anything?
Damn.
If I did, don't you think I would have used it?
Because I've.
I mean, unless I redraw, but I still have a huge stack of cards. I would be lucky to happen to
only
just
got-
fish
All right,
it
you
out.
might want to
I
just.
can,
If
only, I can only throw a 3 down beyond that.
okay,
that's
I've done the
5.
I've done the math. 3. So let's see. It'd be
So I have 5 total.
5 would be 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Nope. You might as well just not defend and take the vial, but you're basically, instead of taking off any health, just take 2 more wounds. He does 5 more damage to you, or he
Wow.
basically hammers you into the ground. He adds
Okay.
another. You can either send 2 sparks to avoid being burning, or
Yeah. So I'm gonna avoid the burn, and then I'm going to take 10 sparks back.
Okay.
What about us? Do we get any?
You guys each get one.
Yay!
Hey.
Here's 10. Somebody thought you were Jeff Johns as they cruised by the channel, Mike.
You know, it's not the first time that I've gotten that, actually, and I guess I can kind of see it.
Okay.
Jeff Johns doesn't care for me very much for some reason.
My
There's also a story there, but anyway.
All right.
Okay.
No.
So it's either he or I goes.
Oh, sorry. The Bone Sapper's
Call
also
Mr.
going to
Freeze
attack
instead of
Mike.
Captain Cold.
Okay.
That's a defense 6.
I think I can do that. Yep, I can do 7.
Okay,
that
you're
hurt.
fine. Yeah, it did. And they're going to heal.
Dicks.
Bastards.
Yeah, they're nasty. All right, so the one more action in the War Worm. So whoever hasn't gone, and the Worm's just going to attack you, and all this shit's going to go down. So, what do you got for us?
Well, go ahead and give me that other weapon rack.
Okay.
Because reasons. Who's the bigger threat right now? These guys keep coming back. Fuckers.
But you can take the Sapper out altogether. You could take the Champion out altogether probably in one of your attacks.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and do that. So I'm going to use Feed on Fear, which will make it exposed, and it gets to tell me what it's afraid of. So does a wingmate. They either have to tell me what they're afraid of, or they have to spend a spark. You have plenty of sparks, so you can either tell me what you're afraid of, or you can spend one of those.
I'm afraid of marshmallows that look like they're perfectly cooked, but the inside's not gooey at all. It's just a regular, like, fresh. Oh,
And
it's
I'm going to
awful.
go ahead
That'll
and...
cost you a spark.
I'm going to go ahead also and take a wound so that I can...
Flip.
Grimclaw.
Yeah, because we need it, and I haven't gotten wounds, so I can't really
Especially
do a lot.
I know fire.
You would think that you'd have it down, but you know what?
So,
Every marshmallow is
The
different.
the Bone Champion sort of like turns to you as you're exposing it and says, you know, it's afraid that it, even in success, that its mission will never end.
that's sad.
Yeah, that's depressing. It's
really
like
sad.
an office worker.
Yeah, see, and that doesn't give me anything more
The
than
moving
one.
goalpost problem of being an undead.
That's what the unions are for.
Yeah.
The sappers have a way better deal than the champions.
That's why they can heal.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Bone Champions have to kill a lot more to get to qualify for medical.
Yeah.
So that's
And if
gonna
you think
be
it's easy to get to 90 days being a bone champion,
Nope.
10 and 15, 19. How far does 20?
20 goes pretty far because you've exposed him, so you've reduced his, you reduced him to 6 defense, so that's 14. So that's 2. You basically have him because on his turn he'll die of the fire. So.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to worry about it.
Nope.
bone fire.
Bonefire. Fearer. All right. Okay, the War Worm attacks Eerie, as you might imagine, attempting to swallow him again.
He just really thinks you're tasty or something.
Technically speaking, it's supposed to Thunderblast this turn, but he'll definitely attack because you've tempted him. So this is a defense 18 or be swallowed. Meanwhile, you're attacking him on the way in.
Yeah.
So you can attack and then draw back up because the attack is sort of like something you held.
Okay. Is it with the same -5 defense?
No, because you're attacking him like on the way into his body. So like you're sort of attacking the mouth as he's swallowing you. Unless you want to really hold it, and then I'll let you have an attack once he gets in there. But then you have to defend first.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to defend the swallow.
All right, so then you're swallowed. Go ahead and make your attack.
Got 8. The percussive strike. 15. And then 25.
25. Okay.
Stack of sparks there for you, Sax.
Oh, wow. Okay. 25. Wait, percussive strike goes back to you, right?
Yeah, but then I'm spending 10 more
Oh.
to take it up to 25.
25. So what I'm also going to do is basically just have the Bone Snapper's attack go off in his mouth because you set him up to eat the barrel. So that is 3. So that is 18 damage. So what's the total there? 25 plus 18.
43.
43. Okay, 43 minus 5 is
38.
38. So, and I'll call it brutal because it was smart, and that's 4 health levels off the thing. And there you go. So well attacked there, and the worm doesn't hurt one of your buddies. So Bone Champion is going to go next turn, but he's going to be dead, so that doesn't really matter. So who's next?
There's only one person left.
All right.
Okay, so the Bone Champion you were fighting,
Yeah.
but now a 12-foot, 700-pound ball of fire, muscle, fur, and Pyrean steel claws is on top of it. So you feel
Shadow
pretty,
Wolf and-
you feel pretty successful.
You got this?
Pretty strongly this is going to go okay. So do you want to move towards the Bone Sappers or the Warworm?
I'm going to get rid of the sappers because we're going to keep healing on us.
All right.
I feel like if Mac had a signature fragrance, if Mac had a signature fragrance at this point, it would be Grimclaw.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Actually, we do know a perfume company that
Oh, Black Phoenix?
yeah, we could see if Black Phoenix wants to do a special release of Grimclaw.
Smells like blood, fur, and bile.
With a little undercurrent of metal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to burn 1 spark to flip Talon back to attack. And then, let's see, maybe I'll hold on to that. So that puts me at 10 for the base attack, and I think that's probably where I'm going to stop with that one.
Just 10 total. Okay, so that's 1 health level. That's 1 health level, but you put the burning condition on them, which will definitely do a good job of like counteracting their healing a little bit. So on the beginning of the enemy's turn, the Bone Champions burn out. The Bone Sappers take a damage. There's 2 groups of Bone Sappers, by the way, but then they heal another 2. So they're still up pretty close to where they were before, but now you basically cut their healing in half. And the Bone Sappers are going to attack, we'll say both of you because you're here. We don't want to slow things down. So both of you have to deal with an attack 6. It's not bad. Just really hurts for when you got every time you...
Yep. All right, I'm going to burn another spark and
Okay.
flip this to defend because I can't afford to take any damage.
Did you draw up after your attack?
Yes.
Okay.
But I still...
Just need to put a 4 down and you're fine.
I got 4 defense.
All right, you're 4 out of 6?
Yeah.
All right, so that is 2 through, so that's a total of 3 damage. It's nasty if you let it hit you.
Play 2 to take it down. Take down 1.
Just 2 damage.
And I'm at 5 total.
Okay.
I didn't make the 6.
So
Is that...
yeah, shit.
Although weren't you given a bag of vials on your way out of the
Oh, yeah.
area?
Yeah.
Could you maybe toss one my way and I won't defend, I'll just heal instead?
Well, well, the thing is if you don't defend, it will also take you out. What you can do, let's see here. The max you can do is if you took 1 more wound, I could say that you don't defend.
But
and
what's happening right now? Sorry.
I am dying.
Atmos can't make the defense against the. Do you have Death Wish? All right, go ahead and spend Death Wish.
Point of order, didn't Fade bring a bunch of vials back to you? I mean, I
Yeah.
know we used some of those to burn out some of the shards, but we've got a couple
You
extras,
have
right?
them. The problem is the math on this is that he won't survive because the amount of healing won't counteract the damage he's going to take. So Mac, you are. Do you want to just make a defense against this or just eat it?
I don't know what's attacking
It's
right
a
now.
Bone Sapper barrel, so you basically be pushing him out of the way of the explosion.
Okay, can I defend against
Yes,
it?
I'll let you defend against it. So you still spent those cards, even though you were like, ha ha!
Yeah.
And then it was very clear
I
that you
prepped.
you jumped like a foot, and you're like, ha! And the barrel's still coming at you, and then Varia just knocked you out of the way.
All right, well, thanks to
appreciate
Shadow Wolf, I
that.
can use 2 cards, so I actually have 7 right
You're
now.
fine. I was gonna do this well, you guys are both conveniently out of the room because it is about the fact that you are not going to be here next week.
Okay.
And I wanted to open something up to the chat as an option. Chat, next week, Mike and Mac are both out for various reasons.
I'm going to East Jesus.
That's a real place.
That's a place.
No,
yes,
it's not.
it is. It's
Where
near
is
the
it?
Salton Sea.
Okay.
Yep.
It's adjacent to a place also called Slab City, and it's a fascinating place on Earth. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Also scary in its own weird way, but cool. And Mac, what do you do? Is it a...
I'm going to Knott's Berry Farm with my family.
Ah, yes.
Also known as
Trajan.
Slab City.
Yeah, and also a scary place.
Although honestly, they have done a lot of refurbing. It's gotten so much better.
I haven't been nuts in
I
years.
just wish that they would bring back Steve Martin. That's the part that's the thing I want them to do is to hire Steve Martin back to work performing magic there, and then I would do it.
That was Disneyland.
Was it Disneyland? I thought it was Knott's.
It's Disneyland.
Entirely sure it was Knott's.
It's Disneyland. That's why he narrated the first 50 magical years. I will fight you on this.
Okay.
Anyway,
well,
Sax,
hey,
you think?
chat, you can figure this out for us. Meanwhile, we're not going to play a regular session next week because I don't want to push the plot forward without two of my characters here. Chan, of course, will be here if you want to be, but we're going to do something else. What kind of game do you want to see us play? I'm interested. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to take specifically from this list. I have some other options I'm going to look at, but we're going to bring in a bunch of guests. You're welcome to it. And play some other game for the session next week. Let us know in the chat what kind of games you want to play. The wonderful Stephen Pope will collect your responses for posterity. So that's the deal. Let us know next week what we should play. And then after that, on the 17th, we have the big year-end capstone adventure, which is going to be huge. And then I think we're dark for 2 weeks after that. Something will be happening here, but the game won't go on because the holidays are going to be. We just happen to be on Saturdays, is like on Christmas, on New Year's, and then then we'll back in January for the last couple episodes of season 1. So please tell me what games you want to play, and also tell me where Steve Martin started doing magic.
Have you seen a magic shop at Knott's? There's a magic shop at Disneyland.
Yeah, I agree that there is. It's true. There's also one here in Hollywood. I wonder if you worked there. So
Sing.
the hatted ones return. Praises be. Oh, Stephen. Okay, Sarah. Let's see. You were the last torch. So I think it's anyone's torch right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, I have like no cards. Because I jumped in.
I need one of these. I'm sorry.
Running low, burning through the.
Well, we
draws.
knew it was going to be coming to this. I've got all the traits and not quite sure how to use them.
At least you can get cards for all of them.
I mean,
if you find a way.
I can do something actually.
You can always pull a Terra and sort of like weirdly side apply them, and I'll have to accept it because you're so charming.
Well, I appreciate that, but that's not how I play.
All right. I have 2 cards in my hand, but I'm going to make this work. So it's mostly the...
There's
Sappers and the War Worm.
The Sappers have like a few health levels left, but they'll heal back-ish if you don't put them out. There's another whole Sapper swarm somewhere that is sort of waiting to be
I'm going to
attacked.
start chewing through them because I only have
Okay.
a few cards in my hand anyway. So I'm going to use Ruthless because I'm just going to tear through them. I'm going to go ahead, and that lets me draw a card. I take a wound, which lets me draw a card. And then, let's see, what do I want to do? I'm going to go ahead and use Power from Pain as well. And lay that down. Might as well use all the cards in my hand. Why not? So that gives me, let's see, 10, and then another 3, so 13, 15, 20, 26.
26. Yeah, that's a light one for you.
Would 27 make any sort of difference?
I don't think so.
Okay.
-4 is 22. So 4, 8, 12. Yeah, you got them. And I'll go ahead and give you a few wounds in the other one just for fun. So that one group of Bone Sappers is definitely down. Oh, the champions are dead. A champion is dead, or champions are dead. And then one or more of you can go before the War Worm goes again.
How about
I think someone should throw a healing vial in my direction.
Are you still in the war room? You are.
No, I cut out of him. That was the first attack.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I am going to lure the worm towards a unstable area, and then smack the wall and like let the rocks drop down on top of his head.
Okay. It comes at you.
Um,
You guys can open the door if you want, unless it like crushes your legs there.
Well, I mean, they closed it because Jack was sitting on the couch
Oh.
as well, so.
Yeah, it's a bit warm in here.
Yeah.
I mean, not that, you know.
certain things aren't necessarily helping, but
You look warm. Why don't you open the door?
Oh, it's actually a lot better already.
ooh, that's a nice breeze.
Thanks,
Those
Winter.
nice indoor breezes.
This is power.
We have a lot of equipment in this facility.
It's a phantom.
doing that. 16. Yeah, I'm doing Furious Storm, which burn 2 sparks to multiply those instead of add them together.
Wow.
Okay.
So
long have
16,
you had that?
Jesus.
19. It's a new one. It's
Okay.
a new one.
Oh wow, that's very strong.
And then one more to make it 20.
20? All right.
Against the sappers? Or
No,
Against-
the
the
war worm.
worm.
Okay.
All right, so that's a health level off the war worm right there. Way to go. And it is going to attack. Let's see here. It's going to attack Varya and Ink with a Thunder Blast.
Wait, I'm sorry. I just realized that I could do a second attack.
Oh, okay. Do it to it.
Lord, have at it, sir.
Have at thee.
Well, I can't do that. Yeesh.
It's like I just realized I can be twice as deadly.
All right.
Yeah.
Make way.
No one is going to be forcing you back down for that.
Yeah.
Twice as many. Twice as many.
Um, 12.
It'll be nice to play the dirt in season 2 where you don't have to do all this crazy math. Just go, I just don't die from the thing that hits me, and then I hit it back.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that looks tasty.
That's another 20.
Wow. All right.
Also,
You put the chant in him?
no. It's just that I have 1 spark left. So,
Okay.
Worm
Oh,
just
shit.
like,
so if there's anything, dude, help that out. Great.
Deal.
Oops. That one's still there. Okay, so it is still going to attack the two of you with a Thunder Blast. This is a ranged attack, standard attack, attack 12.
I can't defend.
You cannot defend.
Can't defend.
like at all. Oof.
And my endurance is 3, so is that 4 wounds?
That is 2 wounds for you.
Okay.
I have superhuman reflexes in my hand right now.
Okay.
And then another 4, so I don't know what you want to count that towards.
I'll take that as 5, so that's 9, 10,
can
11,
add
12.
3.
Oh, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You defend.
What
I know
is
it's-
happening?
it's
All the
nicely
wounds I have
done.
tonight are self-inflicted.
Also a line coming out for Hot Topic.
All my wounds are self-inflicted.
Tear. All right, so one of you. Oh, sorry, the Bone Sappers. This one's going to try and get into range of you, but it will heal up as it's doing it, so they're not going to attack this turn. So, all right. It's anyone's torch, right? Because Mac and Erie were both in a new round, so it's the two of you actually. One of the two of you,
Okay.
and actually 3 of you can go before the War Worm, and 2 of you before the Bone Sappers. So.
Okay. What is my best option for getting one of these vials into my hands?
I mean, all of you guys are close enough that I would say it won't hurt you. If you spend your round going to one of them and getting it, you can heal up.
What if I spend my round going to him and giving it to him?
All right, that works too.
That's what I'm going to do then.
Okay.
Okay.
And look, now I can draw back up.
there you go. And then I'm gonna heal.
I don't know. There's a goddamn war worm out here, right?
He gave it to you, so it so you can still act.
Oh, do you like activate it? Like
Yeah, he
Oh,
fed
wow.
it to you.
Oh man, just like the old days.
Or you know,
Okay.
maybe it's like
When?
Yeah, when? I mean, my family does come from a nice house in the heart of the old empire.
Yeah, where the servants fed you drinks.
Yeah. Rich people don't have to drink things. Everyone knows that.
Yeah. We don't nurse our children. We don't drink our own drinks.
All right, I'm going to, burn a spark to get back on the attack, and I'm gonna go after the bone sappers,
Okay.
and going. So that'll be 8 total, and using consume heat, I'm going to ditch smartest person in the room so I can get that back, and you know what? And this grace card, so that's 2 sparks back for me, and everybody gets a spark because we are running low.
You get a spark. Yeah, running super low.
2 sparks?
Yep.
There you go. What was the damage you did?
It was 8 all told.
Okay, so 2 wound levels and the burning condition to them. Okay, who wants it?
I'll go.
One more. Oh, no, you got it.
Oh no, because I.
You went, yeah.
Yeah.
So one more of you can go, and it's going to either of you, because it's... well, no, that makes it a fresh round, so you technically can go again.
Okay.
So-
Well, I'm gonna take the fight to the sappers. I'm not hidden. Actually, wait. I'm gonna go chasing waterfalls, as it were. So yeah, he kind of runs through the waterfall, disappears, and you know the sappers have that moment where they look, and then they kind of confused, skeleton-y look at each other, like, and then ink reappears. So there's 4, 7.
It's this from Monty Python's Holy Grail.
So there's 4, there's 9, and I'm going to use Painful Truth. So I kind of reach my way up through one of the rib cages, grab a mandible, and I'm like, you know that there's nothing beyond this, right? Even if you win.
They do know that, because it is true.
Okay. So
It caused the chuckle from Mac.
yes, 4, 10, 15.
Don't expect it to happen again.
Here's 20.
20. Okay, so let's see. That is
supposed to do, right?
16.
Get hit again. So.
Let's see here. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16. Not bad. All right, so the Warworm is up. It is going to submerge, so it goes away this round. That means next time it comes up, it's going to bite. It's going to eat one of you. And the Bone Sappers are up, and they're going to attack Mac and Chan for 6.
I have 3, but I have Vengeful, so I'm gonna burn 2 sparks so I can make an attack
Okay.
against them.
Do you want me to add to that? Will that negate your ability to do
No.
what you just did?
It triggers no matter what,
Okay. Well, then I add 3 to her defense spread.
so she's fine.
So I didn't take any wounds.
No wounds. In a miracle world, Mac is being kept up.
I got a new power that involves getting wounded, and,
That'll be the
that is not happening.
Well, that's the last
Activate
time
it.
I can help with that. So
All right, I'm finishing drawing back up so I can make an attack back against
You haven't
them.
been making your spark connection with people lately.
I guess I haven't, have I? Oh well.
Nothing wrong with that. Can you grab me a beer-ish?
Did my name become beerish? You
Okay.
can mix it up. Do a
So let's see.
Joseph
My
Brow.
Okay. It's
Attack.
the Vinta Brew.
back is gonna be 6, 9. My attack back against them is 17.
Dead. So dead. So incredibly dead. They healed twice this round, and they're still very dead.
All right.
So it's just the Warworm, which now is just going to sort of creep underneath you guys and not be clear where it is. So it's basically its round's going to come around if you don't think of something better to do.
Everyone clear away. Eerie. Let us get all the sapper barrels in one central location and detonate them. If anything, we'll get its attention, and then we can attack it en masse.
You're tremorsing the situation.
I'm trembling the fuck out of this
You're
situation.
even wearing the right hat. You're the sniper guy.
You mean Michael Gross?
Yeah, I love Michael Gross.
One of the weapon racks was actually their weapon rack in the
Wait,
basement.
does that make you Reba McEntire?
She'll take it.
All right. It's either that or Kevin Bacon. I don't know. Which
I want to be Kevin Bacon.
All right, then you're Kevin Bacon. You're Reba McEntire. There.
Look, if there's an option, you're always Kevin Bacon.
And you're Fred Ward, or not Fred Ward. Fred.
Ward.
Fred Ward wasn't in that movie. Fred, the other guy.
Fred the other guy.
Yeah.
You were
Burt
Fred the
Ward.
other guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Fred. Yeah, I was.
No, I thought Fred.
Fred
no.
Ward?
Yeah.
In Tremors?
Yeah.
Tremors 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gus Grissom from The Right Stuff.
I mean, I was going to say Remo Williams. But
Well,
sure.
also
Yeah.
yes, he's all of these things and
Remo
more.
Williams
All right.
for the win.
Okay. Anyway,
I
so
can't
yeah.
remember his name, but by the way, the villain from Stranger Things was at M Cafe last night. when
Matthew Modine?
Yeah, Matthew Modine just like sat eating alone, eating vegan food.
Oh, that's.
And people kept coming up to him, and he'd be like, yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I just wrote an article for Geek and Sundry about this game that is on Kickstarter right now called Tales from the Loop, which
I
is
saw
based on an art book by the Swedish artist that presents an alternative 1980s where this Swedish suburb is located on top of the world's largest particle collider, and a lot of weird shit happens. So it is essentially the closest thing you're going to get to a Stranger Things role-playing game, short of an actual Stranger Things role-playing game, and it's gorgeous.
Awesome.
And it uses the Mutant Year Zero rules, if you know what those are.
I'm sort of. Braid, my favorite of our mods, is usually a watcher of the show, and she's watching the last one. I think she disappeared after a few minutes of ours. She must be having computer problems. She subscribed during his show, but she subscribed before that. She came on, saw you could subscribe to us on Twitch, and did. So I held over her redraw until now, and I was going to let her give it to one of you, but she hasn't been around to do it. So now you've got it. I don't know why I remembered that right now, but I did. And I'm happy about it. Okay.
So yeah, Yuri and I are getting all the sapper barrels together.
I'm sure you set it up and blow it up. It works out fine. And basically, from the middle of the explosion comes the war worm out. So you guys can all make, you can make 3 rounds of attacks on it, or three phoenixes of attacks on it. Which
Would you say this is the start of a new combat?
Oh yeah.
Great.
Who wants to go?
Hold on to that.
Someone take the torch.
I'm just doing math really quickly.
Thank you, Varia.
Not killing things fast enough.
Smashy, smashy.
I'm going to use superhuman reflexes because that lets me draw a card. That helps a lot. And I burn a spark to draw another card thanks to that. So now I have all the cards in the history of ever. I use power from pain. So I'm just basically stacking my hand right now. Plus, ruthless. And take a wound to make that even more hard hitting. And then dump in. Now I have to math. So that actually just gives me 1, 3, 4. And that one's 14, 19. It's 24, 28.
Well, in case anyone was
29,
keeping
30,
track.
31.
Jesus. All right, 2 wound levels right there. In case anyone was keeping track,
It's tripping crack.
was tripping crack. If you're tripping crack, Mac and I are both right, but Mac is most right.
Nice.
His first job was working at the magic shop at Disneyland or Disney World or whatever Disney. But he also worked at Knott's Berry Farm, although that was in the capacity of a comedian.
Yeah, that would have been a very different thing.
Also, can somebody confirm that the scene in The Jerk with the miniature railroad takes place at Griffith Park for me? Thank you.
Is pop-up video available for that? Okay, so it is on. It's it's on death's door here. You guys want to put it down?
I can hit it pretty hard.
Do it to it.
All right. So using Dream Shadow, I go hidden, and basically I kind of run up its spine, and all the time like writing runes up, like unmaking it. So there's +4 there. Here's Hunter, so that's 5. That's 9. That's 13. If anybody who has extra sparks wants to throw a couple more in, that's whatever that is. That's
2.
6, 10, 15, 20. 25 make a difference? It wouldn't make a difference.
No, not unless you can make it brutal damage.
I can't. So yeah,
So
just 20.
20 is fine. That's
Yep.
one more health level off it. So all the next person has to do is get to hit 20 damage, and it's done.
Looks like you can do that, because I certainly can't.
It was in fact Griffith Park,
Yeah.
says Stephen J. Pope.
Thank you, Stephen J.
Esquire.
Pope.
Is your real name Jay, or am I just making that up?
No, it's actually Jay.
Okay.
Are you also a lawyer?
I wish.
Okay, so the Esquire is just
Yeah.
fanciful.
There you go, yeah.
19,
Jesus, Chad.
22,
It'd be so nice
Well, there we
25.
to throw 2 different kinds of cards in.
How does so how do you add that many cards? I'm not saying you're wrong, but
The Herring Shrike, I've been putting sparks on there to use more cards. So I'm up to 5 cards that I can use on attack, plus the
members of the
cards.
chant.
Yeah.
If you like math and breaking game systems, boy is the Forceful for you. I played a Forceful when I demoed this game, and it was really, really fun.
Your character reminds me of nothing so much as Jet Li in The One.
But if Jet
Just
Li
saying.
the One was a terrifying child who was hard to look
sure.
at,
Yeah.
Yeah, Aerie runs up the back.
behind him, so he's like making runes, and you're like running over them.
Stomping them into its
Like a
back.
duo act.
Imprinting them.
Wrap it around, swing around, slit its throat as he swings underneath it.
Also, you cut its head clean off, so just like,
Yeah.
and the body falls. And there's like cheer goes up from everybody, and people are like, "Yay! What an incredible feat! Who are you? What incredible!" Oh, Nightsteed just subscribed. Here is a reroll for the table. Thank you, Nightsteed.
Thank you.
Also, actually, sidebar real quick. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you automatically have a Twitch subscription for free. If you even just want to put something out on Facebook to your friends and family saying, hey, like this show, that's going to help us out a lot.
Yep.
And also encourage them to watch it because we're fantastic entertainers. But
It's actually, I mean, not to like fillet our
Oh,
home
do.
too much, but
Do.
it's Amazon, which owns Twitch, did this, and Amazon allowed people this free subscription, and Amazon pays the subscriber or
Yeah.
pays the
the
outlet
Twitch, yeah.
the Twitch subscription fee. So it's not, they theoretically could have done some sort of thing where they get a free subscription and then no money changes hands and they just sort of get the subscription benefits and we don't because but no, they
Yeah.
basically they pay out
They
to
subsidize,
us.
you know,
Yeah, which is
Twitch
super cool.
subscriptions.
Which is like that is the way to do business. Also, Amazon got a full 30% of the Cyber Monday sales in this country were on Amazon.
You want to hear something crazy? When
What?
I was home, I saw a storefront under construction for Amazon books.
yes,
Amazon
it's fucked up, right?
is going to open the bookstores
Yeah.
that they closed across
Yeah, all
the
those
country.
borders that went tits up. Pardon the
Barnes and
expression.
Nobles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Where
spectacular.
is home? Just out of curiosity.
Boston.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So as the cheers kind of subside, Varya, Atmos, if I can ask you please to draw your attention to the chant mobs at the other side of the city, I need to talk to Eerie.
Cool.
All right.
Nah, I just realized as I'm preparing to show this card, the fact that it is available as a challenge card might paint this in an awkward way, but as you are sort of like walking back towards the makeshift battlements, you see a phoenix that you've never seen before, but he's clearly a very high-ranking one, and he's sort of stepped out from behind something, and it is Omen.
I don't think I like that.
And Omen is there.
Spectacular.
And he sort of like waits till he catches your eye and sort of indicates to you that he would, with that sort of nodding way that like you should speak at some point. None of the other phoenixes are around him. It's just him. He sort of like nods to you, but he'll wait till after you have this conversation.
Everyone has a price, right? I'd like to make a deal.
You in there, you son of a bitch.
I thought it was in you. I thought it was like your buddy or something.
My buddy.
You can contact the Puppet Master or something?
Puppeteer.
Puppeteer, right?
I think Puppet Master would be better too, but it's Puppeteer.
The Puppeteer. I believe I have something of value that might interest it.
Do you? You think you can make a deal with one of the fallen and come out ahead?
No. But I think I might be able to put this conflict to a relatively swift end.
How?
Bring me the Puppeteer. Please.
All right. So while you're thinking about that,
Yeah.
we'll do this little scene where Omen sort of brings you, like, waits till you sort of come over to him, and he sort of takes you out in a room. Any of you can be there, but he's most interested in talking to you, Ink.
Okay.
You've done very well, Ink. You're good at what you do. I feel like my fellow high-ranking Phoenix brethren don't see that, or don't see it for what it is. They certainly haven't shared anything with you which you probably need to know. I noticed you found the book, and he points to the book that you're carrying with you. What they're not telling you is that in the Great War, before the Phoenixes went away, the chant existed then too. It was small then, a big problem in a few cities, but nothing so famous as to cause all the fuss it does today. Certainly you could have said chant almost anywhere in the continent and no one would have known what you were talking about. But we had to stop it anyway. And there was a phoenix, shrouded like yourself, who found his way to, I think, a place you might have been. And there he had the option of ending the chant. He had the option of turning it off for good, or at least for a while. These things have a way of coming back. But instead, he thought maybe he could harness it or control it. And he left a spark of it alive that he held. And of course, he lost track of that and it returned. I think you might recognize that phoenix, as I think his spark is currently inside you. And I also think that his talon is the book you're holding with you today. Interesting. I wonder if he got a second chance. Well, like pat you on the shoulder. He's surprisingly large, despite being so. Like,
No, I
7 feet.
see him as being like Kingdom Come Superman, who's like somehow 10 feet tall.
Yeah. And he sort of pats you on the shoulder and says, "Anyway, you're doing a great job. If you ever need me, I'm sure you can find a way to contact me. I think there's all kinds of things you could find out if you tried." And he sort of like walks away. And as he's walking away, like another couple of phoenixes are looking at him, and you realize that they've never seen him either. And he's clearly a phoenix. Like you feel the energy of phoenixes around you.
It's not somebody pretending to be a phoenix or something.
No,
Yeah,
it's,
okay.
it's not a fallen or something like that. But he's definitely not a phoenix that goes on. And as he walks over to the fire in the airy, which you can kind of see through the door, and he sort of reaches into his bag and behind his cape, and he pulls out like a small handful of like small leather pouches, and he sort of grabs one, he puts the rest back, and he throws it into the fire, and the fire like quickly changes sort of temperature and flame, and just sort of steps into it.
Goes the other fucking way. Of course he does. Oh, I knew it was possible. I'm gonna need a minute or two to unpack this.
Well, unfortunately,
Yeah.
the result of that sort of uncomfortable circumstance triggers your negative flare. Thank you, Trona. So
good
you
timing.
sort of find yourself unable to like maintain your grip on this part of reality, and you start fading in and out. So whatever secrets you determine or whatever you figure out from that, you're going to have to communicate it in unstuck from time.
Okay.
All right, we need to talk.
Hashtag Chan the best.
Because I did speak with the puppeteer, and he said that the last time this happened, the world was unmade. So you think that you can go in and I don't know, redeem yourself by doing the same thing?
Yes, thank you, Ray. I do agree that we do need to talk about this. I realized that this whole time I have not really been doing it the way that the text describes it, so... but also I don't want to drag this out. So know that it's a very awkward conversation that makes you more and more upset the more that we're talking.
Oh no, please continue this.
And there's another like 15-second pause, like, you know, I'm broadcasting from Afghanistan and you're in Washington or something.
The Armstrong and Miller sketch about that, the time delay news, is so good. We have a scene. Let's jump forward. So while this is happening,
Yeah.
you could, if you guys want to work a bit out, but we Atmos, I'm going to let you witness this, but don't engage this because so you head over to the front, I'm assuming
Yes.
per instructions. And as you get there, surrounded by Shadavari soldiers and a couple of young phoenixes and no one else that you know, you realize very quickly that, like, you can smell them and you can smell their blood and it wants out. So,
Well, okay then.
with no one left, that's the other negative flare from Trona. With no one there really who's capable of containing you,
Jesus Christ.
we're going to let you murder a
Okay.
few people before they put you back down, or before it goes away. It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have to end in you end in your death, or in your being knocked out. Even, I mean, you can decide at some point that you have eaten enough of them and you're fine. But and unless any of these guys get involved, you don't need to necessarily spend cards on this. You can just tell me what you do.
Oh. Oh, do I?
Yeah, if you don't want to, you don't have to. Smartphone Addict asks, when are we making emotes? I think currently. I think Dom has been adding them during this stream. So keep looking for emotes, guys. We definitely need a Varia, like a Mac in Varia costume emote for something, you know.
Yeah, it won't be.
I think it should be like this.
Except now it is.
We also decided while you were in the restroom that your signature fragrance would be Grimclaw.
I was thinking we should get Black Alchemy to create a short run of Grimclaw perfume.
Well, you let them know that.
Yeah, definitely.
Who's closest?
I mean, you're basically like the soldiers who don't feel comfortable around you anyway have been told you're okay. So you're sort of walking around between like a bunch of soldiers. So they're all like well within Claw's reach.
All right.
And then there's a couple of phoenixes from the young brigade that are like out here. There's like one of their Durant and their Devoted are like out here sort of leading / tending the line.
All right. Well, I walk by them at first, and then it's just that stop. And then just snap around at them and just lunge and start tearing at them. I mean, like, it's teeth and claws and it's like just enough to do like killing damage before moving on to the next person. It's not even like staying on one for any amount of time. It's as much carnage as possible.
Okay. So it's like your Skyrim game.
It is exactly my Skyrim game.
All right, so you...
So I get to stay in beast mode longer because I feed. I hit the A button.
All right, I will say make attack spreads, but only for every number of attack spread, that's a mortal you kill. So that's how many you get through in one spread. Go ahead and make an attack.
All right, well, let's see. There's crude but effective.
That's also her second signature fragrance. Is crude but effective.
That'd be a really good name for like a fragrance, wouldn't
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like something in the Axe line, probably.
Oh, totally.
it? Yeah. Something
I think that's too smart
Is
for
this
Axe.
this is a separate encounter from what we just had? Though,
Yes, it
right?
is, yeah.
All right, well then.
Well, and technically, this isn't like combat necessarily.
Not really,
Yeah.
but yeah.
No,
well,
but
once
I'm
once
trying
the
to see how
encounter
many
ends,
numbers
it
I
flips.
can
It's
add
not.
up.
Doesn't wait till the next one. So.
Seeing red right now. She's gonna murder the hell out of a lot of poor soldiers.
You get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
Now I imagine like someone running up and being like, "Your werewolf person is going nuts," and you being like, "Yeah, well, okay, sure, but I'm working on
And?
this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we
You've
are
got
otherwise
people-
occupied.
Yeah.
Do it. Take care of it.
Okay.
Man.
Throw some of the
20.
young phoenixes
20.
at her.
All right. You managed, especially unsuspecting, you managed to carve through a full 20 soldiers. Basically, you know, this is like that scene where they have to prove Dracula's effective in the modern movies where he just like, and he's like slashing through people. So people are just going down left and right. You're like rending them with claws. The Durant,
Her eyes are just kind of vacant at this point.
chat, what's the Durant's name? The Durant, what's his cog rather? The Durant sort of runs over, and he's a strong Durant, so he sort of, and he basically like grabs your wrists as you're mid slash, and is trying to sort of like hold you back. And he has no idea who you are. He's a rank 1, so he's like, I don't know what's wrong with you, Phoenix, but push it out of your brain. You're better than this. And and he's
Wool?
swole. Is it
Oh.
swole? No. It's swole. Yeah.
It's just you.
Yeah, it's swole. You're better than this. Yeah.
Barry, you have to be better than this. Don't you understand? Swole is a character in Masks, which is the game that Steven runs, who unfortunately all of his muscles are like prodigiously large, so he has like a mouth retractor in at all times, and this is how he talks.
Yep.
Because otherwise he wouldn't be able to open his mouth.
He's basically the freak class, so like it has to. Well, I don't think it has to be quite so detrimental, but
No,
like
that's just
the,
Jordan,
Yeah, the
apparently.
point of it
Yeah.
is that like he literally can't move his arms. So Swole works, but that might be that second one might be the name of. Well, I don't know. Well, now they're naming the the devoted. Because I think Swole is definitely the name of this guy. The guy he's not gonna last through the. Swole will rank up here, so he can get better. So what do you want to do? He has your wrists.
I'm
And only because you didn't imagine anyone would do that. I mean, you
Yeah.
didn't have a chance to resist because he like passive or like non-aggressive attempt to stop you just slip through your radar somehow.
okay.
It's like him trying to be like, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
I snarl at him and use the strength that I have in my back legs to actually push him down and then eat his face.
Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, level up.
And also, I have feed on fear,
Oh wow.
so he gets to tell me what he's afraid of before he dies, which is
Almost.
probably me.
Yeah. I'm afraid that it's gonna get worse every time I rank up. Why do I look like this?
Okay. It's one down.
So that's 8, 10, 13.
13?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll say he puts up a sort of passable defense. We'll say 5, so that
He's rank 1.
yeah. So that ends up being 2 wounds off him. He's got 4, 5. So you've got him down, and he's gonna basically take a swipe at you. But this is like defensive blows. He's still not willing to admit he's a rank 1. He's still a little newbie. He's still not willing to admit that you might be actually intentionally harming him. So he's gonna do a strength 10 attack against you, but not to subdue though. He's just doing this to try and get you off. So.
Are we getting back?
Fuck off, chat. Damn it.
Yeah. Well.
What is it? It just once it starts, it just doesn't stop.
Oh,
It
and
is-
he is exposed now, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's true.
What's he? Oh yeah, he's afraid he's gonna look ugly and uglier.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I can lay down is 4.
Okay, so take a wound from that. Actually, it's 2, but no, take 1.
And then I actually get to draw a card from that.
Yep.
Oh! I take a wound, and I
Okay.
disappear.
Oh wow.
right.
That's bad.
That's a thing.
So I actually, I have a new thing. So if I take a wound from an enemy hit, I become hidden instantly.
Okay.
Which is amazing, because I'm a giant monster wolf. Apparently, I was hanging out too much with ink or something.
There's your Vari Ink shipping right there. Okay.
So when he hits you and it knocks you back, do you like let go so you can like disappear, or do you literally just apparate in his other hand? You know what I mean? Because he's like holding on to you, so you're gonna let the force of the blow knock you off, so you have a reason to sort of not be there, or are you literally just gonna be like turned to smoke and
I'm
slip
gonna
from
let
his
him
grip?
like push me, and like kind of it's that sliding on the ground thing with the claws raking in, and it disappears.
Okay. Okay.
And just dust. Oh shit! What happened to the huge wall?
All right, so yeah, he's like his face is destroyed. He's like, this is even worse. And the Durant walks over and takes his wounds, and then like the soldiers are all sort of arming up, and like there's like like people are like trying to rally people together. And this is about the time that you sort of stumble in on the scene. So I guess I'll let you get involved in this, but please don't kill each other. You remember you can attempt to subdue her. You can do damage as sparks, which basically knocks her out. And just do your best, Mac, not to kill the. I mean, we could rank you up here. It doesn't matter to me. It's up to you whether you want to put yourself out there. But you definitely walk in on this. And some people are like, oh geez, I know you. I think from somewhere. Please help us anyway. I mean, we'll learn who you are later.
Let's see here.
You can't see me, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
I know.
You saw her disappear. You can act first.
I'm still gonna keep going after Swole,
the Swole?
because I've already made an impact, so I'm gonna keep attacking.
iDragon suggests that his full title be Swole the Expendable, but I think he's Swole the Expandable.
Oh, definitely. He's
Yeah.
Swole the Expandable.
He just keeps.
Yeah,
And he's
away.
exposed too.
yeah, he's still exposed because he.
Which is funny because in our game earlier today, Swole also became exposed
Yep.
because he hulked out of his clothes.
All right.
Yep.
So, unseen by him, I actually sneak around behind him and then attack from
Go ahead.
there. That doesn't help me right now. 16.
16. 16. Let's see. We'll say he eats 4 of those from a defense. Even so. Oh no, he's exposed, so he's one less. No, 4. So 4. So that's 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. He does not have 6 wounds. So you basically tear him in half.
Yeah.
Good lord.
The devoted is going to attempt to hit you with a, we'll say, strength 7 attack,
Okay.
and you should defend against this because this is passing pain.
Yeah. But. Can only use 1 card.
That's right. Oh yeah, you're not Shadow Wolfed anymore.
No. What's the attack?
It's 7.
7. The best I can do is 3.
Okay. We'll say it puts 2 wounds on you because she passes you both. So basically, like, you feel as she manages, she sort of does like a
like
Zen
to
monk
not
thing
die.
where she sort of like gets around your claws and she just touches you and you feel like the bones in your face break in as you basically take the damage you did to the Durant. And it like snaps a tooth and like your whole like face just like compacts. Your action.
And I get to draw 2 cards because of
Okay.
taking wounds. Oh,
You just have to give her 2 stun
actually,
points to put her down.
I'm hidden again.
Oh, that's true.
It's like, Durin, why did you do that? That was our chance.
The devoted like runs over to you and like just sort of looks around, and then but she draws off 2 of your wounds to help you as best she can. But you're still hidden somewhere.
Okay.
I'm
well
doing.
then,
I actually have brutal damage right now too.
Okay, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to do anything before you can see her, or
Yeah.
okay?
All right.
Please
I-
don't kill me.
Well, I call out to everybody to clear the area or take cover.
Okay.
And it's not much damage, but I am going to call down a lightning storm
Okay.
around the entire area where we just saw her, just to at least catch her in a blow.
Is this the kind of lightning that like you expect to like short circuit her and knock her out?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just want to incapacitate
Okay,
her.
get like 80s
Yeah.
movie science.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
all
a
right.
large like area of effect weak attack. I just want to locate you and knock you out
Right.
till the rest of the team gets over here. Ink is recovering from his talk with that weird on fire guy who walked back through the flame. And Eerie is still seems like he's having an inner monologue.
Erie's trying to figure out how to subscribe to this channel. Erie's not real good with Twitch, so
Are you a Twitch? Do you have a Twitch account?
I do.
And then it should be right
And I think you have to link your Amazon.
to your account.
Oh, there's another.
Yeah,
another
go to
step.
like search
It
for
should
Amazon
still be offering
Twitch.
you the chance to subscribe though.
Then you
which,
link in, and then you can go on your Twitch, and you'll have like you'll have a special crown tag. You get all fancy.
All right, to you fine folks there, iDragon has mentioned that there was no tweet at the start of this PDC session. That is actually on me. We set the tweet to initiate from a program, and Dom forgot and was like, oh crap, make sure you set that between games, and I didn't. It's on me. So it probably tweeted that Dom was playing Overwatch yesterday, which I think that's 3 times now we've tweeted that. Dom plays a lot of Overwatch if you read just the Twitter. My girlfriend has a weird, she like needs to know what Overwatch is because it's such a cultural touchstone now and she doesn't know. And so she was watching, she found one of those like Man-at-Arms things where they built like one of the weapons from Overwatch.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and it was like 17 minutes long of them like forging the
Genji's
sword,
blade.
Genji's blade.
It's beautiful.
And she set the phone down and goes, well, that's probably way more interesting than Overwatch, so now I'm cool. Like, now she's become a fan of... She's not a first-person shooter girl anyway, but
Yeah.
like now she's become a fan of Man-at-Arms, and Overwatch is no longer on the cards.
All right, so
She thought Overwatch, this is charming of her, she thought Overwatch was a colloquialism for XCOM because she watches me
Yeah.
and my roommate play
in
XCOM,
Overwatch.
and you go Overwatch all the time, and she's like, oh, Overwatch must be the playful name we call it. And I'm like, no, it's another thing. It's a different thing. And Overwatch also is as old as Warhammer. You go, yeah, Warhammer 40K.
That's what they call Felicity now on Arrow too.
You call her Overwatch?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
oh yeah,
I have
his
trouble
Watchtower
concentrating
is
while
the
I'm watching
Smallville
that
one.
show because the writing makes my eyes bleed. Or any of those shows. That crossover was like such a thing I wanted but not done well.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
That was the awkward
that was
hand job of crossovers where
that
you're
was
like,
great.
well, I mean, yeah.
the newest one.
The 4 of them?
With,
The
Yeah,
four
the
of them?
oh
First
no,
one
I
was
haven't done
fantastic.
that yet.
Really? You
Loved
dug it?
Oh yeah.
It's just so clumsy.
It was
And-
it was an alien invasion. Of course, it's gonna
have
be.
But the
Black
cool.
and
Supergirl
white.
one was like a
Do you?
non-issue. And then the Flash one was like the inevitable fighting your friends thing, which was kind of okay, but wasn't really done well. And then the Arrow one was like yet another non-issue because they were in the Construct.
It was also the 100th episode, and I think they balanced it pretty well.
And the 4th episode was in a Legends of Tomorrow episode. That was its biggest problem. It was in Legends of Tomorrow. If only it could have been anything. It could have been in an episode of Gotham. I would have been more interested in it. Legends of Tomorrow is terrifying. All right. Oh, what are you gonna do? So what? How much is your?
So I think I'm gonna hold back because I'm not trying to kill her.
Well, you won't kill her because you're doing a stun, so you
Okay.
can.
All right.
So
then,
Stun lightning.
And if I were you, I would not hold
Stun
back
bullets.
because if she gets another round, she will kill you or something. Else she will hurt you or kill the the Durant, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Not Durant. Devoted.
Devoted. Yeah.
licking
you
her fangs
You
right
want to
now.
knock me out because I could fuck you up really bad with this hand right now.
Yeah.
All right. So it's going to be 7 and ignore your defense entirely. That's why I was trying to.
All right.
I ignored defense. I wasn't entirely sure if I should just go all in.
That'll put you down. Seven is 2 sparks. So you don't need to knock yourself out because we know how that works.
that
So
is-
Varia, if this was a werewolf movie, you'd revert to human shape.
But it's not. This is just how she is now.
Yeah. That puts Varia down. Interestingly enough, that puts Varia down and everyone around. So anyone who saw this, everyone's unconscious, and it's you and all the bodies. Do you want to do something like get Varia out of there?
I guess
or-
I reappear.
Oh yeah, you'd like the smoke coalesces into you as its area affects you. Oh, and I'll take a spark.
Yeah, like I've become like creepy
Yeah,
invisible
the card.
man werewolf now. It's pretty rad. I'm not sad about this at all.
Did you go invisible again when I?
No, he's unconscious.
No. We'll
right.
play by those rules rather than where
Well,
are you?
Yeah. Then I am going to grab Varia and run her back towards Ink and
Okay.
Eerie because
Well,
the
tell
last
everybody.
things people need to see is the big is like just lightning coming down. That's it, and then we're just gone. And the Durant's alive. Like they just wake up suddenly like what?
Well, the
No,
Durant's
Devoted
dead.
is-
The,
I-
the Devoted's alive.
I
The Durant
dusted
ranked up.
the-
Oh yeah, you
Durant.
ripped him in half.
Yeah.
Not the
Um,
first time I've killed other phoenixes.
Yeah.
And-
So I hear.
Probably not the last.
Probably not the last.
All right. So yeah, I grab
right.
her and
Looking
I'm trying
forward
to
to
save
it.
lives.
Well, okay, so
A real
some
unfortunate weather balloon that just went down out there killing 20 people.
Yeah.
If you could all just look at this light right here.
So somewhere out there is a timeout waiting for Varia when she gets back to Pyre, but not
Because,
now.
yeah, I mowed down 20 people plus another phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say that Devoted manages to stay up from your lightning and sort of like sees what you're doing and just sort of like in pure cult style is like, okay, I guess we're just gonna do this and like doesn't
It's
get
cool,
freaked
dude.
out.
She does this.
She's like, okay, I really want them to accept me. And so she follows
One
you
of us.
and weirdly tells people the story of how you saved her from a monster and continues to up your fame.
Oh,
So
nice.
It was this phoenix. I'd never seen him before.
I kind of
He
want to see
also
the
saved
scene.
some babies from the wolf.
Messy beans.
I kind of want to see the scene because you're out of time, and generally where you come up and tell them what happened with Varia over your shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm unconscious. You guys have fun.
So you know who this is? Well, I can't look at you, so I'm gonna direct this. You both look like you're having a really rough time right now. I don't know what
Are
happened.
you kidding me right now? Do you know how hard it is, how much trouble I'm having talking to him in the first place? You gonna bring this shit in? Go. Go, 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 go.
No,
We'll talk
we're
later.
dealing. Okay. well, I'm
Wait,
gonna do
Atmos,
this.
is that Varia?
Okay.
Christmas came early this year.
I need to get back out there and see what's happening with the people that got knocked out. That's another part of the story. You two watch this and make sure it doesn't get any worse. And yes, it is Varia. Nice. Walk out, slam the doors.
Wait for it.
Atmos out.
Don't worry, Atmos. We'll take care of Varia for you, my friend. Go back to the front.
They just hear.
Hey, you don't mind if I kick her in the face, do you?
So after we've been trying to talk for a while, 60 seconds after I have this idea,
You
Ink
fucking
actually
killed
grabs
us.
you and kind of brings you into the same place where he is now.
Uh-oh. It's getting serious.
I suddenly like this a lot less.
I've just recently found out that I am part of a continuing narrative in our world that I no longer wish to be a part of. And one of the things that I've learned in my crucibles is that every good storyteller knows when to end the tale. We come back, we come back, we come back, and for what? What comes after this? I don't know. I don't know what comes next for this world, but I know that if the Dread wins, then it is as if we'd never existed at all. So I am entreating you to call forth the puppeteer, and I want to give it the chant.
You want to give the puppeteer the chant.
I want to offer it
The
this chance.
same entity that enjoys playing with human lives like...
You told me
Dolls.
that the puppeteer is looking out for its own existence, and this is a threat to it. Did you not? You told me that the puppeteer said that the only way to have stopped it before was to hit restart on existence. Is that really something you want to be a party to, Erie?
You know the puppeteer lies.
Do you have another option? I was hoping Fade would be able to write this out of existence, but unfortunately she's not here. Please,
So you think you can do it right this time.
I'd like the chance to.
And you think that you're smarter than the puppeteer.
No. But I'm also willing to sacrifice
The world.
myself. I think I have something at once. I just want to discuss it with the puppeteer.
I'm really glad I'm unconscious.
Neither of them are watching you.
Just crawl and wound myself so they can't see me and just crawl out.
Just in a really tight spotlight on the corner of the stage.
If there is a reason why Josh plays so well in this group, is because he's being like, those idiots are not doing what I asked them to do. I asked them to do a simple thing, and they went into a time hole.
Yeah. There's a giant unconscious, like 12-foot werewolf on the ground.
She does
and you're
this.
in the time
She
to
does this.
Well, she does
I think
this.
that's 12 feet at the shoulder when she's standing on all fours, too. I think she rears up in the 15 zone.
Yeah, at least.
Higher than that.
Yeah.
I love that you told them you knocked everyone out, but not that I murdered a bunch of people.
They
might have assumed
They weren't
it's a
listening.
given.
Talking to him
Oh no,
is
I think it's
impossible.
lovely.
Yeah.
All right,
We're
so
gonna have a talk after this is all over.
everyone's, it's going to be a real fun next session. What do you want to do?
All right, I'll call him.
How do you want to call him?
We might have a deal for you.
I'm gonna, because it's so in playing with your character's design, I'm gonna do a gross thing. You don't, after calling him for a little while, you don't really hear anything, and then all of a sudden you feel terribly sick, and you like fall over retching and cough up his mask at full size.
That's disgusting and delightful.
And it smiles, like it falls in front of you face up and smiles, and then like after you back away from it, it sort of raises up, and he's like cleaning off his face.
Sidebar, that reminds me of my favorite creepypasta ever.
Which is which?
Ben, which is the Haunted Majora's Mask cartridge.
That
Yeah,
was
Ben
great.
drowned. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Check it out. It's creepy as fuck.
Really good.
Yeah.
Every time I get onto creepypasta, I end up like reading a few more lines. I read a few lines of the one I've already read of like the Russian sleep experiment.
Oh,
one,
that one's- yeah.
And I'm like, oh wait, no, I hate this. I hate everything about this.
It doesn't
And then
get any better.
And then I go somewhere else. I've read the whole thing. Like it's really bad. It's so scary.
Yeah.
And then, but it's distressing. Anyway, so he sort of, what's that?
Candle Cove. Yeah.
So he animates out from the mask and sort of stands up. Oh, I thought you'd never call.
I wouldn't.
Well, I can't say I don't know a little bit about what this is about. Ink, I'm intrigued. You have an offer for me? Your line has made so many mistakes. I wonder what this one will be.
The indigenous people of America called you Coyote. The Norse called you Loki. You were a trickster. You were a tempter of men. The ancient Christians called you Lucifer, and you hid in the garden. You're afraid, which leads me to believe that you are neither divine nor in a position to give people what they truly want. But I believe you can give me what I need to make amends for, as you said, what my line has done.
Well, okay, but I can't make it easy on you. What is the easiest way that I can make this difficult? Oh, I know. I'll bring your friends into it. And he wakes you up. And he teleports Atmos back. And then like the doors to this room become walls. Like, Now you have to have this conversation in front of them. And they're allowed to talk about it. I know it's hell, right? But everything has a price.
No, I'm grateful for their input.
What is happening? What is happening? I was outside. What
Atmos,
is happening?
it's fine. It's fine. Also, I apologize for the delay. Sometimes I kind of,
Why is she awake?
because she needs to be.
I want to lunge for the mask. And it's not because of it wants out. It's just like, fuck that guy.
You come in contact with it, and it just, like, the body underneath it is gone, and you sort of take the mask to the ground, and it shatters. And then behind you in your shadow, like, he raises up again and says, it's not this easy. Not this easy once my mortal form has been destroyed. You know how long it takes to make one of those? Thanks a lot for that, by the way. I mean, you had to do it
9
through
months?
time travel? That was terrifying. You shouldn't mess with time, you know. Anyway, go on. Tell them and me what your plan is. Ink.
I want to give the puppeteer the chant. Because it's afraid of it. And I feel that we can entreat it to make it go away.
So what are you asking?
I want you to take the chant away. And in return, because I sense that you were tied to this plane and this plane alone, I can give you the totality of all of the knowledge in existence.
I don't think either of these are good ideas.
Think of how many more deals you could make with all of that knowledge.
Ooh. I don't know. I'm surprised you guys ever go against this guy. He knows how to make a deal. Well, I'll say this. First off, the Hectarch is not going to be happy. I'm not entirely sure it's capable of being happy or not happy, but it's going to react. So just removing the chant will not solve your problems. I certainly can do it, or I can essentially hold it back for a very long time, longer than any of you will be alive in these bodies. But of course, I do have a price, and it can't be a price you offer me, although I'll definitely take some knowledge. I'd be very interested in spending some time in your crucible. I understand there's some lovely reading there. But I wonder, on top of your life, which for you Phoenixes is virtually meaningless, are you willing to give up something else?
What do you have in mind?
Well, that book failed to stop the chant before, including the stylus it's attached to. I don't think you need either. I don't think I've ever seen a phoenix without a talon before, but I could. You'd be sans talon, but you'd be sans talon in a chant-free world.
You have all the universes of knowledge at your disposal, and you're going to take a shortcut, make a deal with a fallen? You can't figure this out yourself? Between the two of you, you can't figure out how to do this.
That.
The knowledge of the Shadowvar is sitting underneath our feet.
We were supposed to have a chat earlier
We were.
about some things that I uncovered.
I feel now is the time to present that information.
We have all the time in the world here.
There's still more you haven't told us.
This is not information I previously had, Eerie.
It's not information I feel like I should give you now that you're about to give all of it to this asshat. Which is a term that makes complete sense in this universe.
No, I get that cultural reference. Yes, I understand.
I think that's a type of bones.
No, you're thinking that it's that long form improv style?
Oh yeah, that's that.
Yes. Atmos, I realize you and I have not known each other in this form for long, but I believe I'm finally doing something right. Not just capable, but well and truly good.
And you think what you have to sacrifice will be worth it?
It certainly isn't going to go any faster than that, I'll tell you that. And what you know is useful. I know what you know. I was there. But I don't know.
What is your price, puppeteer?
Your talent. Your talent in your life, but you have those to spare. We'll travel through your crucible. I'll take the chant with us. And I'll hold it there in the world of death for as long as I can. Certainly the Hectarch and other things have the power to bring it back. I wouldn't be surprised if one of your own order didn't try and use it once before. I mean, your former ancestor did. But at least in terms of its current incarnation, or any current incarnation, it will still be out there. There's also some shards missing from your tablet that who knows if someone could find a way to reignite. Again, this isn't going to happen in your lifetimes, but it might still. I'm not saying it's off the table. That's what you sort of have to learn when you live as long as I have, or live as many lives as you have, is nothing ever truly dies. It just comes back later in strange and interesting ways. Think about jazz music. Come on.
Oh yes, no. I'm more into hard bop myself. I mean, early jazz is good, but there's something about the virtuoso.
Oh, and I mean, to be fair, you're also taking one for your wing, because if you give me something, then this one doesn't have to anymore.
He has
Did
nothing
you
left to give
owe
you.
him?
I don't owe him anything. He wants.
You took a piece of me into your crucible when you killed me, or tried to kill me the first time, and as a result, we're tied together. You could have farmed me off on Adalia after she refused my deal when she killed me the first time, but unfortunately, she retired. So now I'm with you for the long haul, unless you pawn me off on someone else. I don't see where you're trying to convince him otherwise. I'm a really annoying housemaid. Everything has a price, and the price of him not taking this action is I'm not going anywhere.
Does anybody know what will happen if you lose your talon?
No. But that's part of the excitement of existence, isn't it? Not knowing?
It's a chance to learn something new.
Indeed.
I'm for it.
If we stop the chant, Varia, please listen to me. I know my words grate upon you in a way that nothing ever has, but I want you to know the woman that you were in life expected a life beyond that you didn't feel as realized, but how can this not be the great hunting grounds of the people from which you stem, whose name I can't remember right now, and it'd be better if I did. In the Grimwald, in your trees, the legends of the hunting lands beyond life. This is your gift. This is your reward, and you are treading ground that none have ever tread before.
You're stupid.
I may be. I very well may be. And if I am, and it costs, and if the cost is existence, then I only hope that I have yet another chance to redeem myself.
Varia, don't be too hard on him. He doesn't realize what your future has together. There's going to be a much more interesting conversation between the two of you soon. I say conversation, that may not be the right way to call it. Ooh, no, I didn't mean that. Or did I? Who knows?
I shatter the mask again.
Like that actually surprises him, and he sort of like pulls out of a wall. Woo! You're fast. All right. Anyway, my point being, Varia, is the two of you have much more annoying things to have a conversation about that aren't happening in the time bubble I am so graciously giving you. By the way, killing 20 guards at the front makes it easier for the chant to get in. So when we stop this conversation, it's going to be a real fun experience if the chant's still around. I'm not saying I want to necessarily take your deal more than anything else in the world, but it does help both of us. Anyway, Varia, how's it feeling, huh? I mean, like, you know, getting really feeling it out, really stretching out that skin. How much more do you think it can take? When do you think you stop being a phoenix and start being something else? Do you wonder? I wonder. God, why are you guys not done with me? Come on, make a deal and get me out of your lives.
If we rid ourselves of the chant,
and me.
Delay.
if we delay the chant, that gives future generations a better opportunity to learn a way to stop it permanently.
He says he's going to stop it for longer than our lives. What are our lives? A few months?
That's fine. That's all the time we need.
Yeah, he didn't specify if it was one life or many.
He
We don't
said
have
our
any left.
lives.
That will give us an advantage against the dread long enough to hopefully take our fight to the big bad, and that is all I want. This is your last chance. This is your last chance. I'm willing to put my life on the line for one more chance to write this before I burn out perpetually. Please, let me do this.
I've already given the benefit of my doubt.
For the good of all.
This is going to end badly.
That's for certain.
So Ink sets down the chant tablet. He takes out the book, and he puts Dream Shadow on top, and steps back.
The mask winks at you. He walks over in the sort of like the rough, shadowy shape of him, and he takes the tablet and takes the book and sort of tucks your stylus in between and goes, "Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna go sleep for a few hundred years, but hey, I have some light reading. Anyway, remember, everything has a price, and just because I'm not in your lives anymore doesn't mean that hasn't changed. In fact, I can think of a price you're going to have to pay real soon. Bye." And you return to time.
Okay.
You do a thing?
No.
Okay. You sort of like, you all come back into existence, but there's just sort of like a hollow shell of ink there. And you basically ranked up in the transition. And so it just sort of, it's like, like one of those bad horror movie ones where they black out the eyes and mouth. And you sort of drop to your knees and then fall forward. And you go into your crucible and hammer your talent.
Bye, Dream Shadow.
Bye for now.
For now.
You'll find out what happens about that soon. Meanwhile, outside the walls, there's a huge cheer as all the chanters drop and all the whisperers drop, and it basically ceases to exist or ceases to animate them. And people run into the room. Like, at this point, your body is like turned to ash, and they're running into the room, and like the ashes of your body are being kicked up by them running in. They don't even see you, and they go like, "You did it! You Phoenixes did it!" And like they're sort of like, "You all did it! You're all heroes!" And amongst them is the Devoted, who saw you kill those people, and she's like, "Yeah." And they sort of like grab your hand and sort of lead you out as heroes and everything. Your crucible is different this time.
Okay.
You're still in the library. You're still there with all the books. Although a lot of the books have missing passages that and would love to fill in, but you have no way to enter them.
Right.
And Omen is there, but only briefly, like behind stacks and around corners. And we'll find out what happens to you when you come back in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And what happens to you when you come back in 2 weeks? Because upon arrival at Pyre, you all like head back to Pyre by way of boats or whatever. And upon arrival, the Council of Marshals is assembled there, with like Ember with like full on fire hands, and Honor is like, "Varia, time out." Or whatever he says. But it's essentially that. "Varia, come with us."
Go to your room.
Bad dog.
Think about what you did.
Bad dogs.
And stop. And they sort of escort you off, and like a lot of the penises, a lot of the phoenixes around are like, "Oh no," and Braids are going, "Yeah, yeah." Braid and Swole like high five as you walk by. They're part of the Torn in Half Club of Phoenixes.
It's a very exclusive club.
Actually, there's not so exclusive. There's more than just them.
I'm sure.
That is definitely a t-shirt.
I think I've taken out
Torn
at
in Half
least
Club.
at least 4 or 5 phoenixes by this point.
Yeah, you've only torn 2 in half. Well, no, you might have torn him in half.
Oh yeah, there was that time we were even because you.
I think you
killed me once.
skewered him. But I mean, we just make "Killed by Varia" t-shirts.
I got killed by Varia, and all I got was a stupid t-shirt.
Yeah, it's just like guts hanging down his entrails.
And all I got was a stupid t-shirt on the back. It says, "And another rank."
Phoenix Dawn Command.
So in 2 weeks, you'll come back as rank 6 ink without your talent for the first time. What is that going to mean? Hopefully, will you join us in 2 weeks? Do you think you can?
Yeah.
All right, so hopefully Atmos will be back for 2 weeks for the capstone of this, and then the end of this stage of the war will be in early January. Next week, we'll be here playing something. What are some of the suggestions? It's lower than... I'm not going to plug this movie again. Oh, well, everyone see Slash, December 6th on iTunes. Slash Fiction, blah, blah, blah. Michael Ian Black, he's fantastic. Watch Stellar reruns as well. So if you can kill that, I will see what the suggestions were. Were there many?
Neither were not.
Okay, so good, because I probably have some ideas anyway. So a Modern Times game. That's a very interesting idea.
Like contemporary?
Yeah.
Modern D20?
No, like a modern Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, that was
we
fun
did
on the
that.
stream. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'll think about it. So we'll do something here in this slot next week. Look forward to the calendar to telling you what that is. And look to the calendar to find out what other exciting shows are here on Saving Throw Show, now a Twitch partner. Please subscribe. Remember, you can always subscribe to us on Twitch, which helps us keep the lights on, and also makes Twitch realize we rock, which we all know.
Well, yeah, that's just science.
Yeah, and if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can do so. You can subscribe to one Twitch channel for free. Tell your friends who are on Amazon Prime but don't know what Twitch is. And you can also like us on or subscribe on Patreon, both of which get you extra XP, and both of which are good ways to support this channel. And the Patreon backers will all be making the Rival Wing in Season 2. And you can always follow all of us on Twitter and all those other various things. I think our Instagrams are what's below us right now. And let's do plugs and suggestions real quick.
Seagulls. Just seagulls. You'll know when you find it.
Stop it now.
Stop it now.
All right.
It's good times.
A Ubisoft game just came out yesterday. It's like 4 extreme winter sports. Well, I guess 2 of them aren't necessarily winter sports. Paragliding, wingsuiting, skiing and snowboarding, and the premise
this
is
all
an
VR?
open world game. No.
Oh, okay. I was like, shit. 'cause that would've been perfect.
Open world, but it's really cool online multiplayer.
Nice.
And yeah, check it out. I'm going to jump into that as soon as I'm done with the giant backlog that is currently happening with this fall season and holiday season.
Nope. Why is this not the right thing? Oh, because I'm listening to something else at the same time? Oh, man, I was going to play Seagull. Stop it now, briefly.
Oh.
Is it an ad?
What's that?
Is it an ad?
I don't know what it is. It was Twitch. Is that music playing on our channel?
This is like really triumphant music.
Yeah. Weird.
Yay, Vari got put in the lockup again. Triumphant music.
Time out.
Hold on. I mean, sure, chat can
This keeps
confirm
getting
whether or
worse.
not music is playing throughout. No, they're not. I mean, they haven't been complaining about constant music.
I think we know if there was constant music.
Yeah,
I
you think so
somebody
too.
would have said something.
Maybe it was an ad that just sort of randomly ran. I don't know. Well, they'll tell us. Okay, so my pitch is, again, Dark Matter, best show. So much fun. Check it out. It's on Netflix and Hulu, I think, at the same time, and on Amazon Movies. Also, Scythe, the board game.
Yeah,
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, I saw you posting about that the other
It's
night.
called Scythe. It's really fantastic. It's it's a couple hours of your time. I think I have the advanced version. I got it from Geek and Sundry gave it to me to play, and so I think they have like the $400 incredible version that has like all these great pieces. But I think even the $200 version of it, yes, it's that expensive, is really worth your time. And it's just a brilliant, awesome variable player powers game. It's so worth your time. Scythe, check it out. And all based on this guy's art, which was just like old agrarian fields with like 1920s workers with mechs behind it. And all the characters have like pets. So like all the heroes. So there's the girl with Wojciech, the war bear. There's a girl with a tiger. There's a girl with a hawk. There's a guy riding a muskox. There's a guy with 2 wolves. It's like they're cool. It's really cool characters. It deserves to be an RPG actually. So really worth it. And then the next 2 Mondays on Twitch on Geek and Sundry's channel, I am doing 2 sort of Christmassy specials. One is an unofficial Christmas special this Monday on Dick and Johnson at 5 o'clock on Geek and Sundry. Britney Spears is a guest character. So we have the library bards who have been on this show, been on this channel, guesting as Britney Spears and I think Justin Timberlake, and they're going to sing with Dick and Johnson as they protect their Vegas concert from an attack. And then the week after that, at 4 o'clock for 2 hours, we have the Dick and Johnson Christmas special, which will be all kinds of guests, including Matt Mercer, which should be really fun over on Geek and Sundry. All right, go ahead.
Peace. The Science Jerks, it's a podcast. You should go look at that. Also, Knowing It's Not the Podcast, we had Hal Rudnick on as a guest this week, and he was really funny.
Nice.
Good guy. And what is it? You know what I'm playing right now is Plants vs. Zombies Heroes. It's a mobile version of Plants vs. Zombies, but it's like a card-based. A lot of fun.
Well, nice.
Goofy. Enjoyable.
Have the Science Jerks covered oceanic bees yet?
Not yet. We
Yeah,
haven't.
just broke
What?
yesterday that well, it's a misleading title, but like that scientists have found the bees of the ocean, but they're actually just small mollusks that live underwater that pollinate plants, and so they like go from plant to plant, like pollinating sea grass. It's not bees that live underwater, which would be way cooler.
Right.
But,
right.
Terrifying.
Also, why are
Yeah.
they called oceanic bees
Yeah, I
and
don't
not
like
sea
that
bees?
idea.
I don't know. I think because sea bees is
Aren't
the
sea bees some sort of Navy thing?
Yeah, it's the Naval
Yeah.
Engineering Division.
Yeah.
So, yeah, which science discovered a long time ago because they just hey look, there's a Navy guy.
I might be a little bit late to it, but I recently discovered Adam Ruins Everything.
Oh, I fucking love that
And
show.
I have
It's so
been
great.
enjoying the shit out of it. People have pirated and put episodes on YouTube, so thanks for doing a great job, pirates. Because I've been sitting and watching them all, because why would I actually go and get them any other way?
But don't pirate our stuff, please.
Or do.
It's
But
a
it's...
show and a podcast.
Yeah, I've only seen the show, and it's really fun. It really dismantles a lot of common knowledge that everybody knows that isn't actually based on anything. It's just stuff that, well, I heard this, and then that gets passed along, and that gets passed along, and just a really a wide array of topics. And some of the stuff I didn't know. I was just really enjoying the shit out of it.
Jesus, the jail episode was.
Oh, some of them are really brutal. That and the death episode was like,
I was at a convention here in LA. I think it was Kamikaze, and he was walking by, like full on suit and suit jacket, and the guy was just turned to him and goes, "You ruined everything," and he went like.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, it was really fun. All right, so please, not only should you subscribe to us on Twitch because we love that, but please follow all of our wonderful players on Twitter and interact with them and follow their stuff and like their pictures on Instagram and support them as people, because we all donate our time for the show and we love doing it, but we also love sort of interacting with you. And some of you have been really good at that, and I dig when people who love this show are like part of my social scene. So thank you so much for that. Unless there's anything else, check the calendars and bye. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.